Good evening. Welcome to Hip Hop Talks,
Your
Godflow podcast. AG, Shawn,
what it
click
do?
like and subscribe and share to the tribe. How's the week been, fellas? What's going on? Talk to me. Tell me something good.
Man, I was in your neck of the woods this week, Coop. I was in the Queen City, Charlotte, North.
Hey.
Yeah, man. I was like, yo, y'all know Coop? I'm like, who? Like, who?
Absolutely. It should be that way. I haven't lived in Charlotte regularly since 1999.
They're like, he left us. He abandoned us. He ran to Atlanta from us.
Abandoned is such a strong word.
It's hot here. Ass Coopy ran to Atlanta.
Atlanta like Mace.
I'm gonna tell you what. I didn't. Now here's something I'm not going. Here's something I'm not going to play with you about. I did not leave Greensboro, North Carolina, on the best terms. No, I did not. It's not okay. Like, one of the homies just pulled me to the side. He was like, "Hey, so we just want you to go before something happens to you. So you should go." And I was like, "Oh, it's like word." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "People are talking about you." He's like, "People we don't know are talking about you." He's like, "It's time for you to go."
Well, it's okay. One of my best friends lives in Greensboro, so I make sure that he makes it all right for you to pull back up in Greensboro again. So
I hope. Yeah,
so always get like a pass. Like, yo, you were telling me earlier this week, yo, before you come to West Virginia, let me know. I'll give you a pass. Like, no one needs a pass to get to West Virginia.
You got to check in.
You're not.
Oh, no,
I got the key to the city.
No, you got to check in Greensboro. You got to check in Greensboro's a check in.
Yo, that is crazy.
Trust me, I found out the wrong way you got to check in. I found out the wrong way you got to check in Greensboro, okay? You not do what you want. All right, we got a great show lined up today, fellas. I'm going to kind of just jump right in. I know Andrew had already kind of put this together before, so we're kind of going to work the anniversaries in order. Tupac, Strictly for My Niggas, came out February 16th, 1993. AG, you and I had some dialogue in our personal thread this morning about the classic nature of the album. If I could start off, I kind of want to share with you that I think more than anybody else that I've met since I've been in this space, you and I share similar musical sentiments and ethos. Mm-hmm. And so I can understand why you would question the classic nature of this album on a musical level. But the icon that he is, like, and the potential that comes to fruition, like, all of it exists on this project. And so while musically it may not be a classic from end to end, I think that's more of a production thing. And if you want to knock him for poor production choices, I will give you that, because the production on this album is not stellar, but the hit maker, the thought provoker, the icon, even the sex symbol, and even the platinum status, like, they all exist on this project. And so I did just find some, like, when I realized that and Victory Lap shared the same anniversary, it did make me think about the project and think, like, well, if an album like this dropped today, a lot of people would call it a classic, in my opinion, because of the classic nature of the artist and because of the big records on there. You know what I'm saying? And so what do you say when I say all of that?
I personally don't think it's a classic, nor have I ever met anybody until now and you that called it a classic, because it's a lot of different contingencies that you threw out there that would like make it a classic. But in real time, don't get me wrong, and I don't want people in the chat to take this the wrong way. Tupac is an extraordinary rapper. He's in my top 5. But in real time, when this album was out, we were more enamored with the big singles versus the album in and of itself. And I would even argue somebody that during this time, he was more iconic as an actor than he was as a rapper. And even it was close. It was close. I'll just say that. Okay. And even post-death, this album is not revered as much as All Eyes on Me, Me Against the World, Machiavelli. Nobody even really talks about this album like that. his first two to be exact, Apocalypse Now and then Strictly. So I think it's more so like a retroactive thing because of who Pac is, where you would go back and say, oh, it's a classic. But I think the only thing that stands out is the major classic songs on the album as singles, but that doesn't necessarily make the whole body of work a classic.
What do you feel about? Okay, so let me ask you something. Outside of the production, what keeps this album from being a classic in your opinion? Because it's easy to go to the production and say, well, it's the production. Because my thing is if you like tell me that the production is the only thing about it that's not a classic, it's like, well, there are a lot of albums that are missing like certain things. Like I could tell you, like there are certain albums that we hold like in classic nature, and the lyricism level like isn't like high at all. Like I can give you Thug Motivation 101, which I think is a classic, but like bar wise, it's like there's no bars on there that's gonna make our bar seminar necessarily, is there?
Right.
Is there a
no.
bar seminar on 101? Maybe T.I.'s
Jay-Z don't go crazy.
I was thinking T.I. on Bang Bang. See,
yeah.
There's like right.
What I will say, I'll use, in rebuttal, I'll use your own terms. This is not a great end-to-end player. And like we talked about, maybe it was a week, we was talking about a week or so ago, how to Cal in real time, people really enjoyed and liked that album, but it was a victim of what came after it, right? So for Tupac to follow that up, and one thing that's really slept on is the Thug Life compilation album. I think I like that better than Strictly, if I'm being honest.
Production's much better. The beats are better.
Yeah, but as far as like, Me Against the World, All Eyes on Me, and Machiavelli to follow it, that just got, Strictly just kind of got pushed to the back. You know what I mean? So it's a victim to the heights that he was able to achieve after that. And in real time, when I lived it, everybody I was around, or even, music publications and stuff like that, nobody was saying it was a classic. The man himself was, a big time artist, but I think the singles were more classic than the album itself.
Shawn, I want you to jump in. Can I just jump in for like real quick?
Yeah.
AG, I understand what you're saying. So I think a lot of it is about context. So let me give you some context to what I was receiving. Strictly actually came out the year that I moved back from Atlanta to Charlotte. And so when I moved back, my cousin Six actually had a copy of Strictly. But what really struck a chord with me about the project, and this is what I mean about him and the nature of the album. No, I had homegirls that I had classes with in middle school that had the album too. And he was the first rapper that I ever saw women buy the project. And that was different for me. Like he was the first. No, I mean, see, that's what I mean about seeing it in real time. Like when LL is doing that in 87, 88, I don't know. Like I'm not seeing that. But Pac was the first rapper that women also put me onto, that like they were hip to, like they bought his album as well. And that's what I mean about the classic nature of that album. And that is saying something, because it is the first project that I could think of like that, where it's like, oh no, the chicks had it too, because he had I Get Around and Keep Your Head Up, and they liked both of those records. And he was a good looking brother, and he was young and in shape and had been in movies. He was a sex symbol. And so there was a nature and a bravado to the album. And you make a very, very good point about the movie acting thing, AG, because you could argue, and I would actually tell you at the time, he's probably a bigger movie actor. He might be a better movie actor than rapper at that point. But I think what gets lost about this album is actually the three albums that followed it, because I think the three albums that followed it is one of the better 3 album runs in rap history. Like that's one of the top 5 to 10 3 album rap runs in rap history, correct?
Yes.
So it's easy to say that this album doesn't sound that great. He just went on one of the greatest runs of all time. Like Tupac's 3 album run, that's like the Celtics or the Lakers or the Bulls or the Warriors or the Heat. Like it's one of those. Like that's what his 3 album run is. It's one of those all-time great runs. And so it's easy to look at a project like this and be like, nah. But when you look at all the things that he became, oh, it all exists on this project. So it's just the production's not as good.
I'll rebuttal your point, but I want Shawn to go.
Yeah.
No, those are all great points. Strictly is this before the legend of Pac began. This is when Pac was ramping up. This was before, the shots. This was before the death row stuff. This is before all of that. So this is like pre, Pac legend. So it's hard to really, sometimes you have to compartmentalize Strictly versus that 3-album run versus where he was in his actual career as an artist. Because Pop was rapping on Strictly. The energy was there. You start off with Holla If You Hear It. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't get, and that's more New York-esque than it is West Coast on Holla If You Hear Me, because he's going with that rat-a-tat flow, and you can hear the influence that he has from the Jersey, where he was hanging around Jersey a lot during that time as well. You know, with the Tretch and Naughty, all of those guys, and Stretch and all those guys. So you're getting like the grimiest of grimy of Pop. You're getting that echo of Pac in that. But the singles, guys, I mean, you're talking about Get Around. You know what I mean? He's becoming a sex symbol right in front of our face when that Get Around comes out, based on the video alone, cool. So I can understand where you're coming from with that. Even when you think about Keep Your Head Up, now he's catering to a whole different audience. So now he's starting to bring in different audiences at the same exact time before his legend even begin. So I hold this album very high. I don't hold it as a classic. I just hold it as one of those catapult moments that Pac needed to get him into the stratosphere after the 3 albums that came after this one.
Hold on real quick, and I'm going to let AG finish so we can slide to the next album. To Cal or Strictly?
For me, I'm going to Cal.
I'm going to Cal just because of the
I'm going Strictly. I'm going Strictly because Keep Your Head Up is like,
it's high. It's high.
Yeah, because the Method Mary version of I'll Be There For You isn't on the real.
It's not on the album.
Right. It's on the album.
Bring the Pain is tough though. But to be fair,
Bring the Pain is tough. Bring the Pain is tough. I'm gonna take Strictly over to Cal though. I am.
Yeah, Pac has more range, but the production gets Meth over. But what I will say, they're both are 4 mic albums for me.
Okay.
My cousin, so I don't want to seem like I'm hating on it, but it's just not a classic. My cousin put me up on Strictly, and for me, Pac as an MC, like I don't think Tupacalypse Now is like really that good at all.
I don't think it's a good album.
I would give it maybe a 3.5, but Pac's trajectory for me went like straight like this, right? From Tupacalypse to Strictly, Thug Life. Then you got Me Against the World, All Eyes on Me. And I think with Machiavelli is his best form as an MC. If you say All Eyes on Me is a better album, okay. If you say Me Against the World is a better album, okay. But I think Pac as an MC was his best and his sharpest on Machiavelli. So his trajectory as an MC was like this for me, right? And I do want to give credence to your point, Coop, about the whole sex symbol thing and women buying into Pac, because when Pac got mad at Biggie, quote unquote, like taking his formula, taking his style, that was derived from this album, from Strictly.
Yes, the making a song for the back and forth. Yes.
So yeah, I'll give credit to you on that point, but I don't think that makes it a classic. I think that he was on. You could tell that he was putting it together in real time. He was on the verge of figuring it out.
It's got a lot of classic elements, and it's got a lot of better songs than albums that we call classics, and that's why I was really forging the conversation. If you're telling me it's not a classic, I can agree, but there are a lot of projects, and I'm not going to say any names, because I don't want to try to defame those projects. Mm-hmm. But there are a lot of projects that we call classics that's really not as good as Strictly. You know what I'm saying?
Because of one time, region, and because I've had this argument on, because I joke about, on Station Head how we had the conversation with Low. Like, if Thug Motivation, you brought it up, if it's not the regional major classic it doesn't permeate and break through all the way through the mainstream. You know what I'm saying? As an overall classic, you know what I mean? A lot of it's timing too.
Dang.
And you got to look at everything else that was coming out around Strictly, what a lot of these guys was doing lyrically.
It was a lot.
That Pac wasn't.
So I think some of this too is that, well, if you look at the time of this, the East Coast resurgence is also starting to happen. And so even though he has an East Coast aesthetic on this album, he is not a Big L or Nas on the mic with the metaphors and things of that nature in terms of being that type of MC. And I will give you that. But we got to go to the next one real quick. And I'm just going to ask a quick question and we could just kind of slide. Safe and Sound by DJ Quik. Comes out February 21st, 1995. It's classic or no? Safe and Sound, DJ Quik?
Not for me.
No, not for me. But
I love Safe and Sound. Love Safe and Sound. You don't love Safe and Sound? You don't love Safe and Sound? That's not a classic. See, that's what I mean. That's one of the, like, so how about this? There are a lot of guys that tell you, like, they'll swear by Safe and Sound on the West Coast. Like, that is a classic, in my opinion. You know who executive produced the album?
Over Quik Is the Name. You got that over there?
I think the production is better. I think the production is better than Quik Is the Name, actually.
That's the only classic that I consider for Quik.
No, I feel you on Quik Is the Name, but I can't front the production is. You want to know what? It's one of those things. It's like I'm trying to think. Okay, it's one of those things. Do you prefer Ye's production on College Dropout, or do you prefer his production on Late Registration? Because what I would tell you.
We lost Coop for a second. Well, he was.
If Michael Brown is saying it's a classic, it's a classic. I believe.
Shout out to Michael Brown.
Look at Michael Brown says West Coast driven. I'm rolling with it. If I don't know, I'm rolling with it.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Mute it.
Can't hear you, Coop.
Yeah, you might have to hop back in. Coop was referring to the production, but I think Quik is rapping better on Quik Is the Name, personally.
Yeah. For me, he was. For me, but again, I'm not a West Coast guy, so my ears on that is based on just kind of really down the middle. So I've always felt that Quik Is the Name was the one. To me, it was, because I felt it appealed to a universal crowd as opposed to just the one West Coast crowd. Because DJ Quik is true West Coast. Like, his sound is definite West Coast. There is no tweaking here.
He shaped the coast and doesn't get enough credit for it. He helped shape that.
Doesn't get enough credit. Very underrated. Very underrated.
So just real quick, I was about to say, so people always talk about Suge Knight, but people don't understand how influential he is. Suge Knight executive produced Safe and Sound by DJ Quik, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Suge's the executive producer of Safe and Sound.
Okay.
So like that, like he literally is behind a lot of the classic sounds that we consider to be the West Coast sound, whether we like it or not. Like, it's Dre, but Suge got a lot to do with it too. He's the executive producer of Safe and Sound. Y'all gotten the victory lap yet by Nip?
No.
About that time.
Yeah. This is West Coast.
West. So West anniversary on February 16th, 2018. Nipsey Hussle released Victory Lap, which I do consider to be a classic rap album. Guys, we are all in agreement. The Victory Lap is a classic. This is a classic, yes. Okay. All right. So just so we're clear, Victory Lap's better than Safe and Sound and Strictly for My Niggas, apparently, to you two niggas.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, guys, I actually did something, and I want to ask you the same question after I did this. I thought about the 10 best rap albums post 2017, because I call that the real Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole era. Is like from 2009 to 2017. I listed the best 10 albums I thought came out in that time. I have King's Disease 3 at number 1. I have Pray for Paris by Westside Gunn at number 2. I have Magic by Nas at number 3 again. I have Daytona at number 4. But when I look at it, I'm looking at Victory Lap and Alfredo, guys. And if I'm being objective, even though I listen to Alfredo more than I listen to Victory Lap, when I listen to Victory Lap today, kind of got the impression that Victory Lap might be better, which means it's 2025, guys. It might be one of the best 5 rap albums of the last 8 years, which definitely makes it a rap classic, in my opinion. What do you think?
Let me ask you this real quick, Coop. Do you have it over? You have it over Damn?
I said post 2017. But I can't front.
Okay, so you're not counting 2017 itself. Okay.
No, but I do. But okay, so if we're putting Damn in that mix somewhere, I would tell you that objectively, I might put Damn ahead of Victory Lap and Alfredo.
It's close.
It's close, but I'm going to listen to Victory Lap more than I'm going to listen to Damn. And so I'm going to tell you Victory Lap is the better album because everybody that knows me knows I love some Alfredo. But when I listen to Victory Lap again today, it's like, no, I can't in clear conscience tell you that Alfredo is better than Victory Lap. And that is saying a lot about how great Victory Lap is. And so I cannot tell you that Damn is better than Victory Lap in clear conscience. And so like I'm cool with it being at number 5, even if we're throwing 2017 into the mix, which is saying a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That means in the last 10 years. That means in the last 10 years, he made one of the best 5 rap albums of the last 10 years. And even the fact that he's in that conversation says a lot about the classic nature of this album.
I agree. I think Victory Lap to me is that universal album. When you're from a coast, especially in AG, we talked about this before with Jeezy when he made TM 101. You didn't have to be from the South to recognize how important and how special that album was. And Victory Lap to me was like that. You don't have to be from the West Coast to appreciate and understand how important it was, because the way it sounded, the way it started off, the way he ended, the way he flowed in it, everything that he was going to be, you saw it in Victory Lap. You know what I mean? And this one of those, it's a universal record. It's a universal, to me, it's a universal classic because you can vibe out to it no matter where you're from.
So how about this? Daytona and Victory Lap came out the same year, and I said that year, if you told me that you picked Victory Lap over Daytona, I wouldn't argue with you much because the length of it is so great for longer than Daytona. It's like Daytona is greater to me, but it is much shorter.
Degree of difficulty comes into play.
It does. Stuff like endurance, degree of difficulty, when you keep on making bangers. Like when you on record 15 and you still making bangers. You know what I'm saying?
This album, the production is so stellar on this album, and Nip is doing his thing. Like he reached, hit the peak of his form, and it's just sad that he was taken away from us when he was. And that's what I don't like about this album, because if you do call this album classic, people are quick to say like, oh, it's retroactively because of his death. But
no, live.
I was calling this a classic in real time. I remember a barber, not my personal barber, but a barber in the barbershop I get my hair cut at. We was talking about like how classic this album was when it first dropped, man. And I was first introduced to Nip in during the Marathon mixtape back in 2013. Like I really messed with the Keys to the City track. And then when Ocean Views came out, that was like 16 or 17. That was like, that's probably my favorite song of his, right? But I still hadn't bought in to him totally, at that point. I would check for his stuff here and there. But then by the time you get around to Victory Lap, I was fully on board. And then just like that, he was taken from us. And I was just like, man, this is crazy, because 3 of my top 5 songs that he's ever done come off this album. Like Blue Laces 2, Right Hand to God, and Grinding on My Life joint. You know what I'm saying? So I think he reached the peak of his, and he was actually getting better, kind of like Big when
he got progressively better.
Yes, over time. Like I said, from when I was first introduced to him to the time he dropped this album, he was in a straight progression. And I think he would have been even greater, had he still been here with us. But this is undoubtedly a classic album.
So listen to what I'm saying. Then it might be time to check up on our man IAMGAWD to see if he's like
he's in the back right now.
Oh, he is? Okay, cool. Yeah. We can go ahead and start to pull up. Listen. My brother's people knew Jeezy's people. Like I remember when my brothers were showing me the footage when I would come to the crib of like Jeezy on stage. This is before the deal. This is before Def Jam. This is on like some Atlanta shit when people was literally recording Jeezy shows. You understand, niggas down here used to record Jeezy shows. It was like that, where it's like you had to go like record his shows, like with the little handheld shit, like back in the day and shit. And it's like when I look at Nip, to me, he's everything that Jeezy was here, out in Cali, where in Cali, the following is so loyal and so big, and all respect to Jeezy, and he was a better rapper too, and he got progressively better at rapping the same way Jeezy got progressively better at rapping.
Both were movements.
Victory Lap. You know what? Victory Lap isn't a victory lap. It's almost like the opening ceremonies. It was supposed to be the coronation. He's the one that's supposed to be running the West right now. Yeah. Like, that's what Victory Lap was. It's like, oh, he got next. Because you got to understand that it's like, after Kendrick did drop Damn in 2017, and I keep on saying this, and I'm not saying this disrespectfully, it's like, oh no, but Damn ain't no West Coast shit. Victory Lap is some classic West Coast shit.
West Coast.
And Kendrick is on, I mean, it's called Kendrick's on the album. He was a part of this classic. You know what I mean? So he was seeing the movement in real time as well.
Yeah, some classic West Coast. And so, yeah, that's different. That hit different when you do that.
Mm-hmm.
So we can go ahead and bring, you know, the man.
Bring him in. Yo.
Salute, bro. What's good?
Glad with y'all.
Yeah, what up, homie?
I'm chilling, bro. Happy to be here. Appreciate y'all having me on the platform again.
No doubt, bro. No doubt.
Peace, brother. So, tell us. Here we are again, City of Gods. I'm going to get into some things, you know, that I want to ask you, but let's talk about, you know, your production of choice this go around with Ill City, because I love your production choices, because I feel like that you choose producers that are reflecting of where you're trying to go as an artist. Am I correct when I'm thinking that? So tell me, you know, about the production choice with Ill City and who he is, what he brings to the table, what the relationship is like, why, and all of that.
Absolutely. Shout out to bro Ill City, man. I actually got put up on Ill City music from the homie Rufus Sims. You know what I'm saying? Rufus and Jay Hayes, the little people. So he was, you know what I'm saying, working with them back when I first got put on to their music a lot, like Coke Raps 1. You know what I'm saying? So this was like 2022, I want to say. Yeah, 2022. So I'm just like, man, bro, who was that? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, you know, I'm a boom bap, you know what I'm saying? Like, grimy, you know what I'm saying? Hardcore rap shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, who was that, bro? He's like, oh, it's the homie Ill City, you know what I'm saying? He wrote, you know what I'm saying? So we actually started City of God back in 2022. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first joint that I penned for that project was Devil in His Eyes. You know what I'm saying? So we started this back in 2022. And, you know, shit, you know what I'm saying, happens. Things get put on the back burner. Other things take priority. But, you know what I'm saying, I made it a point of emphasis the end of last year. Like, nah, I'm ready to drop this. You know what I'm saying? So went ahead and, you know what I'm saying, wrapped it up, going ahead, knocked it out, and shit, we out today. City of God, streaming everywhere.
So
I'm assuming Ill City's from the shot.
Absolutely. Yep.
So you making sure you're keeping it shy with all of your choices.
Oh yeah, we definitely trying to, you know, it's a whole conglomerate, a whole citywide effort. And I've said this many times, you know what I'm saying? Like, we definitely trying to, you know, shine a different light on the city. You know what I'm saying? We coming out of the drill era, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like Chicago is wide open now. Chicago is one of them cities to where, like, market-wise, Chicago chase was popular. You know what I'm saying? So the trap or whatever you want to call it, that sound, it'll always be prevalent here. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing wrong with that. But we just trying to, you know, reopen a door as far as the real MCs and the spitters is concerned. Because we was always known for that. It ain't no new thing with Chicago having spitters or nothing like that. Like, that's in our history. That's in our DNA. But we just want to put that back, you know what I'm saying, to the forefront. You know, everything come in cycles. What goes up comes down. Everything coming full circle. So we just trying to reestablish the city as far as, like, real spitters is concerned.
Okay. AG?
Yo, peace, bro. Thanks for pulling up again. And also a big thank you to sending us the project early so we could tap into it, man. I was excited for everybody else to really get to tap into it finally and hear it. It's something that we've been listening to for the past few weeks. So we appreciate that. Let's stay right here since Coop mentioned production by Ill City, and you mentioned Devil in His Eyes. That's actually my favorite track on the album. and the beat for that is real unorthodox, right? And it's a crazy pocket, you know, to your flow that you're in. And we're in a current era where one MC taps in with one producer, and you chose Ill City for this project. But throughout this project, the 8 tracks, he's giving you different looks as far as the beats, the tempos, and different things, different kind of bags for you to go in, right? So with that said, like, how did you select a lot of these beats? For instance, Devil in My Eyes, you said that's the first joint you did. It's a real unorthodox track, but then how'd you pick other vibes for the album to, complete the project?
You know, whenever I go into a project, I'm always first and foremost just picking whatever speak to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally just do what the beat say. I do what the music tell me to do, and whatever the music evoke and bring out of me, you know what I'm saying? That's what y'all get as far as the finished product. You know, so it's just, you know, with things that something might be dope and I might not like it, but if it ain't grabbing my attention or holding my attention enough, you know, it won't be as high as on the priority list of beats that I'm trying to write to. I like for beats that like speak to me right at that moment and make me want to pick up the phone and, you know, type it out or whatever the case may be. So it's like all the joints that you hit now, it's like it made me feel a way in a moment when I was listening to it, to the point to where it was like, oh no, I gotta write to this right now. The only thing that I probably knew I was gonna write to that I sat on for a minute was probably the intro, Way Too Easy. So I probably had that beat for like maybe a month before I actually wrote to it. But that's because I was already writing to other joints on the project. So that was about the only one that I had that I didn't do nothing to immediately.
Got it. Dope.
Yeah. So I'm big on setting the tone for an album.
Yes,
when
sir.
you set the tone out the gate with intro Way Too Easy.
Yeah.
And the energy around that, just the way you was able to put your foot on the gas and never take your foot off the gas. To me, it felt like you were trying to make a statement, and you succeeded at making that statement about Chicago hip hop,
Right.
and not so much as the drill side, but the lyrical side. Was that your goal to kind of set that tone so it can permeate throughout the entire project?
Absolutely. Even though y'all know me, you know, I got, you know what I'm saying, a core base of listeners that been following the music since I came back to rap in 2020. I'm still at such a lower level, you know what I'm saying, in the underground hip hop space, to where every project, every time out is somebody first time hearing me. You know what I'm saying? Every impression is a first impression for me. And I said this many times before. So I'm always trying to, first and foremost, establish that thought in your mind. So like, you gonna hit a Chicago, but you not gonna hear what I think 99% of people is expecting to hear from Chicago, unless you kind of like from a different era. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you from a different era, then you know what we gave to the game. But if you only getting tapped in with Chicago from like 2010 or 2012, when the internet really started booming, and I mean social media really started booming and drill was taking off, then you will be surprised. But you know, I definitely always want to first and foremost establish that this ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a totally different side of Chicago musically. You know what I'm saying? Content wise, it's similar. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's a much different style. You know what I'm saying? Taking it back to the essence of what this shit is really built off of.
Absolutely.
So when I hear your music, sometimes I feel like that you are traditionally looking beat wise for producers that are in the Dilla, Primo, and Kanye mode in terms of the boom bap with the drums. I think you like eerie samples. You like snares that make a lot of noise so that you can pick something different to catch your timing on. Correct?
Facts. That's facts.
I'm correct about all of those things. And so when you talk about your comfort level and where you feel like in this space, well, let me ask you, what does your comfort level feel like? Do you feel like, for where you are in this space, do you feel like you're the best in this space? And what are your expectations in this space? Because you spoke to some things and it made me think about a question that I actually had, and I was going to ask it later, but I want to ask you what your comfort level is in the space that you exist in right now. Like, how do you feel about you? Like, a lot of people like me feel like you might be the best independent MC out here. Are you the best independent MC out here? Are those what your expectations are for yourself? Do you expect to go further? If it doesn't go further, are you okay with being just the best independent artist in this space? How long are you okay with that? What does that look like for you? All of those things.
So as far as am I the best? I'll let the people tell it when it comes to that. You know how I feel about it based off the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, my opinion is strong throughout the music. I'm damn near every verse, every line. You know what I'm saying? So I'll let the people tell it. You know what I'm saying? But as far as comfortability, I'm not comfortable because I know I have so much more to do and so much further to go. And I know the expectations I have for myself. Like, I do absolutely want to be the best. Like, no questions asked, no debate about it. You know what I'm saying? No doubt, no none of that shit. Like, I want it to be a consensus, a popular consensus. Like, nah, right now, this nigga IAMGAWD, he got it. Like, ain't nobody fucking with him. Like, those my expectations for myself. I want to crack your top 5 if possible. And I'm talking about top 5 all time. I'm not, if I fall short of that, I'm comfortable with doing what I'm doing for this era. You know what I'm saying? But if I can have my way to be 100% honest, I want to crack your all time top 5. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, like, I'm still growing as an artist every day, every verse, every line, every bar, every project. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you pay attention to the music, like, you will hear that I'm always going back and forth and circling between things. Like, I don't think I've ever put out, since 2020, I don't think I put out a project or back-to-back projects that was basically the same. I think the closest I got to that was 2021 when I put out the Eternal Reflection and Hell's Angels and Heaven's Demons. I think those projects was very similar mood-wise, content-wise, because the latter, Hell's Angels and Heaven's Demons, was kind of like residual leftover from the Eternal Reflection. So that's why they kind of coincide and go together. But after that, I don't feel like I gave you the same look twice. And I'm watching everything and I'm watching everybody. And no disrespect intended, but I feel like a lot of dudes like give you the same song and dance over and over and over when they drop. And that's not something that I want to get caught up in. I have more higher expectations for myself than that as an artist. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to go too far left, but I know my capabilities. My thing is like, ain't nothing new under the sun. So I ain't necessarily saying I'm introducing anything new, but I'm blowing the dust off shit that ain't really prevalent in today's era and trying to bring that to the underground, because who's to say this is underground hip hop? To me, that symbolizes freedom. And you know what I'm saying? Lack of constraint. You know what I'm saying? You not pigeonholed to do any one or two things. You know what I'm saying? So who's to say you can't talk to the ladies, you know what I'm saying, through underground hip hop? Who's to say you can't get melodic, you know what I'm saying, speaking of underground hip hop? You know what I'm saying? Who's to say that everything gotta be drumless or everything gotta be a 40-bar verse, no hook? You know what I'm saying? Like, my thing is I'm an artist, you know what I'm saying? And I think I've proven that throughout the years, like, if you listen to the catalog. So my thing is further expanding my artistry and the craft, and just like, you know, being the best that I can be within the scope of where I'm trying to see myself.
Let's go, man. Go ahead and claim it like you do on the album. GOTE, go to this era.
Oh yeah, greatest of this era. Yeah, like, that's definitely where my sights is at. You know what I'm saying? And regardless if you agree, disagree, and different, that's cool, because I understand, like, if you want, like, if somebody wanted to say I'm delusional, you know what I'm saying, that's fine, because I feel like the ones who really hit that mark, you have to have some sort of disillusion, you know what I'm saying, to continuously take on this journey. Like, this is a process. This is a journey.
To be,
like, it's really a marathon. Like, none of this shit is overnight. You know what I'm saying? None of this shit
to be great, you got to have irrational confidence.
Absolutely. And can't nobody tell me that I ain't up there. Like, I don't care who you talking about, whether you talk about the Conways, the Ransoms, the Stove Guys, the Bennies, like the Black Thoughts, the L's Eyes. Like, I don't care who you talking about. If you asking me, I'm right there with all of them. And it has nothing to do with being cocky. It has everything to do with knowing that I put in my 20,000 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been doing this for more than 20 years.
You took your shots.
You can't tell me that I ain't put in my reps, and you know what I'm saying, I ain't put in the work. You can't tell me that. It's evident. You can hear it in the music. It might not be your cup of tea, but you never finna tell me that, like, I'm at a lower level. Like, I refuse to believe that.
Right. Well, let's stay right there for my next question, because If you remember when you hit me up a few weeks ago to let me sample the album, and we had a little back and forth conversation, I said to you, like, bro, I could hear it in the music that you ascended since the last project. You were hitting different flow pockets with the sniping, and you sound more polished on every track that you were on compared to Bloodstained Suede and More Suede and things like that. You remember we had that conversation.
Absolutely.
And so you mentioned, typing the lyrics out on your phone, and then Shawn brought up the intro. So the Way Too Easy. So out of the gate, I heard something different than on your previous projects. I'm like, yo, bro is in a pocket right now that he was sharp before, but his sword is definitely sharper now than it was back then. So take us into the booth with you, and do you, because I know, like, when you memorize your lyrics after you write them, you're a little bit sharper with the flow versus reading off something when you're in the booth. So was your approach a little bit different from this project when you went in, or did you keep your same approach? Because I can hear something different in the music.
The approach is definitely the same. I don't really too much deviate away from my approach, because that's kind of like, that's the comfortability that I won't jeopardize and mess with trying to change. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not willing to change it up if I find something that I feel like works better, but as of right now, I'm kind of on some if it ain't broke, don't fix it type shit as far as the approach. Now when it comes to the music and just delivering these projects, like, y'all know I'm as transparent as it get. I'll be 39 this year. I know my time is very limited. You know what I'm saying? Even though if you want to say, oh, it's no age on this, you do it till you feel like you don't want to do it no more. That's cool, but I can't see myself chasing it forever, you know what I'm saying, without seeing some notable type of rise and, success, what I consider success, because success look different for everybody. So I know my time is limited. I'm not saying that this is my last go round or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, like, I know what I want for me. I got kids to raise, you know what I'm saying? And if this is something that's as good as I am at it, like, this is like my trade. As good as I am at this, you got to know when to walk away from everything. But that's for you to say. It's not for nobody else to say. So it's not necessarily anything outside coming in as influencing my train of thought. It's all about what I want for me. But I feel like I'm closer than I ever been. And I feel like that right there, it's putting a battery in my back, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? It's giving me that passion and that hunger back, because when I see, okay, it's new people tapping in all the time, and they hit me up and let me know that what I'm doing is actually needed out here. And then I'm starting to be recognized by people that I respect that came before me, whether it be from my city or otherwise. It's like, all right, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like letting me know that I'm on the right path. But it's scary hours right now. So I'm rapping like my life on the line, and I'm rapping like the rent due. But that could be a detriment. I know the era we in. I know the masses don't want to hear that shit, but I'm of the mindset to where you would have to learn how to turn your deficiencies or detriments or whatever flaws you would say into a positive. So if somebody is annoyed by rapping at a high level, I'm gonna annoy the shit out you, because I'm gonna do that shit like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got a gun in my head every time. That's just the cloth I'm cut from. That's the school that I was raised in when it comes to this rap shit. Like, everybody wanted to be the best. It was the king of this, the king of that. That's what I'm cut from. Like, that's my upbringing. That's in my DNA. I've conditioned myself, you know what I'm saying, to be that way. And I'm not mad at it. Like, I'm not regretful or anything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna rap like it's my last breath every fucking time you hear me. You know what I'm saying?
Word. Yeah. What I will say real quick to that, before Shawn asks his question, is, I just wanted to point that out. You sound very comfortable on all these tracks. Like somebody, you're breaking through now, but you sounding like a seasoned vet on these tracks. Real comfortable. You have a level of comfortability that I wasn't hearing on the other albums that I hear now. It's just different, man. For real.
Gratitude. I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all listening to detail, and that's why y'all get the advanced listens and shit like that, because I don't know if it was you or Coop I was telling to, like, I look at y'all as like what the Source and Double XL was. Those avenues and those platforms are, no disrespect, but they obsolete now. They heavily voided. Like, nobody pays attention to them no more. They don't hold the weight they once held. So that's where y'all come in at. Y'all are the new Sources, the new Double XLs. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the game was back then. You know, the label will give these platforms the project
Right. You
months
get
in
the 30-day
advance.
event. Get your
Yeah,
30-day.
and
Yep.
let you sit with it and live with it. So when it's time for it to drop, like you've lived with it and you have a clear, concise opinion on this music, and what y'all say matters to people. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate y'all, because before I was on y'all platform as an artist, I was watching as a fan. You know what I'm saying? Even when Coop was on the other platform, you know what I'm saying? So it's only right. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by like just blowing the dust off shit. It's a lot. Like, I understand the industry did a lot of, it fucked the game up, you know what I'm saying, a lot, but at the same time, it's a lot of gold from that model and that platform that you can still utilize in today's game and still like get off and be successful.
Well, you want to know? You want to know what's crazy? Is that I actually found out about you really, and that we had kind of overlooked you on the previous podcast when I was watching another podcast, and other followers knew I was in the building, and you were in the building, and somebody called us out and was like, "Yeah, they didn't even cover IAMGAWD's project." I'm like, "Who is that?" I was like, "What the fuck?" I jumped. Look here, I jumped out the pod and started listening to your shit. That's how I found out about you.
Yeah.
Because I was like, did we miss him? I was like, what did we miss? I'm like, what's going on? I was watching another pod. You and me was in the same pod. So like, when you mean you watch it, no, I watch it the same way because I be watching other dudes and what they say. That's how I found out about you. Because somebody stunned on me because I jumped in the chat like, yeah, this nigga Coop up in here, he don't even know who IAMGAWD is. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this nigga just tried me in here. I was like, I'm out, man. I need to go find out who IAMGAWD is. And then I listened. I was like, oh, I was like, I still got the text message. I was like, yo, Mike. I was like, Mike, we fucked up. I sent Mike I remember sending Mike a text at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like, yo, we fucked up.
Nah, that's love.
I was like, we ain't know who, no, because you popped up around the same time me and him popped up. You feel me?
Right.
And so that's why I was like, oh no, I was like, we fucked up. He popped up when we popped up, and somebody had to tell me on another pod about him. I was like, we can't be moving like that. I was like, we got to bring fam on, and so that's when all of that started happening. And so I do. Hold on, Shawn, you got a question? Shawn, you want to get to your question?
Yeah. I want to piggyback off what AG said, because I'm God. You brought some stuff down, man. I want to think about this. Purple Tape to the Purple Box, right? I played that repeatedly at the end of that joint, right? But I also thought about the evolution, and AG actually touched on this about you ascending into a whole different pocket, to a whole different bag. And most MCs, they get into an evolution, and then they start regressing after they get into that evolution. But it also sounds like you're looking at getting to a different zenith at this point, where you have already evolved. Can you kind of share us, like, what is that looking like for you for future projects, or just for future, songs, whatever you're going to work on in the future? Are you still looking at evolving as an artist, as an MC, as an individual, or are you looking at trying to get to that zenith to see how far you can actually go?
I'm actually looking to do both. I don't think y'all got to worry about me trying to be no next Drake or no shit like that. Like, I have no desire whatsoever to go that far left or be that appealing, so to speak. But yeah, like, my thing is, like, when I say underground, again, I just mean free from constraint, meaning you don't have to make a specific type of music. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, to me, that's the beauty of the underground. But my thing is, why can't you bring a little of the other side into the underground, but still do it in a dope, artistic, tasteful manner? You know what I'm saying? When I say that, I'm just saying, like, every project don't have to be, every song on every project don't have to be 50 bars, no hook. Everything don't have to not have drums. You can play with this shit. Like, us as people, we so sensual. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to like fuck with your senses, like the audio sense, and like give you different looks when I create. Like, I'm not trying to give you the same song and dance. So when you pick up when you press play on an IAMGAWD project, you know exactly what you're gonna get. I feel like the only thing you should know that you're gonna get from me every time out is my best. Lyrically, my best. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna come, you know what I'm saying, lyrically, like it ain't no tomorrow. That's the only thing that I want you to like be able to predict and and kind of foresee. But as far as the vibe, the music, like, I don't want to get caught in that box to where it's kind of like, oh, I know what he finna do. You know what I'm saying? He like to do this or he like to do that. Like, I'm always evolving because I'm always evolving as a man. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't never want to stay too static in any regard. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not super dynamic, but I feel like I got a nice pocket in between the two. You know what I'm saying? I'm not so static to the point so I'm never changing and I'm always the same, but I'm not so dynamic to where like you wouldn't recognize me next week or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I have a healthy balance. So as I evolve as a person, my music is a direct reflection of me. You know what I'm saying? So that's the good thing about my artistry. As I grow and evolve as a man, so will the music. So you can kind of listen to the music and kind of not know where I'm at in my life, but kind of feel, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, he in this type of mood right now, or he on this type of time. You know, I don't never want to get, you know what I'm saying, stuck in a box. Like I'm always trying to create and push myself. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. I love it.
You know when you talk like that, and I hear it in you, you don't sound like Common, and you don't cover the same content necessarily that Common covers. But when I look at the arc of your music and I look at how you rap and I look at the themes and the content and how it's still like rooted in the city, like a lot of your early stuff reminds me of his early stuff. Like your style to me is very resurrection like, and I mean that in a complimentary way.
No, that's
You know,
gratitude.
where
I
like
appreciate that because he a
where,
legend.
where I feel like when I'm listening to you, I'm listening to Common before everybody knew who Common was, because people don't understand. Common made classic shit and made hip hop classic albums before everybody heard him make The Light. Like he was like 7, 8, 9 years in the game
Right.
before that moment happened for him. And so when I listen to you talk and I listen to your music, I do see like maybe it's the Chicago of it too, because I hear like the street in it, but I hear I don't like the word conscious. You know, I like when Mo says, you know, I'm just a wake dog. I'm doing great, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Right, facts. I'm aware, and that's synonymous with conscious.
Yeah.
I understand the connotation that conscious has within rap and hip hop, but it just means to be aware, and I am aware. You know, I'm not, like I said, I'm
Yeah.
not so static that I can't think and see from different
Well,
perspectives.
this is what I mean when I say you remind me of Common, because this is what I wanted to get to, because I want you to explain this bar to me. I used to run with disciples, but now I am God. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah, that's
the natural progression and evolution of growing from a boy to a man. You know, Chicago is a real heavy gang affiliated city, you know,
right.
and
Right.
whether indirectly or directly, I feel like 99.999% of us call ourselves fucking around with something if we not all the way fully in it. Some of us born in it, some of us is sworn in it, some of us just play with it. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever your walk of life is, you affiliated some type of way. And if you're not directly affiliated yourself, you got family. If it ain't your family, it's your guys. If it ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like some of us is just like out the womb, like thrusted into that shit. That's just what it is. So when I say used to run with disciples, now I am God, you know, GD, Gangsta Disciple, now Growth and Development, one of the biggest gangs to come out of Chicago and make its way to other, you know, states in the country too. So that's basically just a play on words saying like going from the gang banging shit, but like, you know, now I am God. Like I'm on a different level, a different way of thinking, a different wavelength. I'm a whole grown ass man now. Like the things that I valued and like to partake in back then ain't the same things I value and like to get into these days. So just the whole play on word shit, you know what I'm saying, with the disciples and with Jesus, you know what I'm saying, but used to run with disciples,
AG.
now I am God, you know what I'm saying? And also basically saying like, I was a follower when I was a shorty. A lot of dumb shit I did came off me being a follower, you know what I'm saying, because I didn't grow up with my pops. I didn't have no big brother. I didn't have no big homies. I was the oldest of 3 siblings. And if any of my guys was older than me, it was about a year or two. So mentally, we still on the same level. They might have been more advanced than me in certain areas, but for the most part, we on the same level. So that also speaks to me coming into my own as a grown man. I'm big on being a man because I feel like in this era, the prototypical man is very different than what I see as a man. And not to disrespect nobody, but it's just different. And I get it, times change, things change. But like I said, I got 2 boys and I need to make sure that they're men, like in every sense of the word. Now I don't know macho shit, but just being able to stand on your own 2 feet, being able to provide, being able to endure, you know what I'm saying? Being able to survive and also thrive, knowing how to put yourself in position to win and knowing that you are the man of your shit. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody coming to save you. You have to know how to carry yourself. You have to know how to earn and command respect, and you also know how to give respect. So just the whole thing of like coming from that that boyish thinking you a man mentality, not really knowing what the fuck a man really is, and being able to look in the mirror one day and say, okay, yeah, I came a long way. Like, I'm a grown ass man out here.
Real stuff right there. For my question, I want to talk about Living Nightmares. That's actually my second favorite track on the project, and where you get into your storytelling bag. And for me personally, my top 10 MCs list, that's like a prerequisite for you to even have a buy-in, because I'm big on storytelling. And you know, you as a rapper, I think you have a dope voice. You know what I mean? So that's part of storytelling, is being able to convey, you know, through your voice, to keep us locked in and interested in the story that you're telling. But when you get into that storytelling bag, do you prefer to write from a perspective rooted in reality, like if you're telling a real story, or do you like to get creative and make up your own tales, you know, street stories or whatever? Like, do you have a preference in that?
I feel like it's always a little bit of both. I can't think of a story that I told that was 100% real. Like I took like experience of mine or somebody experiences I know and just put it out there like that. I feel like it's always a bit of both, because my thing is, like, when it comes to storytelling, I like to channel the likes of like Biggie, Nas, Cube, you know what I'm saying, Scarface. You know what I'm saying? To me, like, those are my favorite storytellers, you know what I'm saying, in rap. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like the vivid imagery that they narrated with, you know what I'm saying, that they told a story with. Like, you could damn near close your eyes and you right there in whatever situation that it is that they rapping about. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I try to do, like the audio visual aspect of rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to bring you into my mind. I want you to be able to close your eyes and be able to, you know, see and feel and smell the shit that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I don't want to limit myself by trying to be too rooted in reality, but I also don't want to be so far-fetched that I'm getting away from reality, because I still want the stories to be relatable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm more of like a Donald Goings type storyteller. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody know motherfuckers get locked up, that's the first thing they do is pick up a Donald Goings book. Like, I've been locked up short stays a couple times. So that's how I got put on, you know what I'm saying, Donald Goings and shit. So I appreciated his imagery and the way he told stories. So I'm always trying to stay rooted in reality, but not so much that I can't use my mind and use my creativity and, like, you know, give extra life to a story. But I love storytelling. Like, I don't think it's a lost art. I just think it's done way less than what it should be, because I feel like if you know how to tell a story right, that boosts your stock as an MC. You know what I'm saying? Substantially. You know what I'm saying?
Can I piggyback off of AG right quick, Shawn?
Yeah.
So IAMGAWD, you literally just took my notes from me. When I have Living Nightmare Circle, and I was like, extra credit for the MC, for the storytelling ability.
Yeah.
I literally have that song circled. It's not my favorite song on there, but the first thing that I noticed about it, I was like, and this is what I like about this project. I feel like you know what your bag is, and you know that your core bag is good, and you made it a point to try to express on this project that your other bags are good, and this is the prime example of that on this album to me. It's like, oh no, I got a storytelling bag too. You didn't know I had a storytelling bag? Got a storytelling bag for you. I was like, oh, check. I was like, go ahead and check that dope ass MC box. And I got stories too. Check. Because when I listened to your previous projects, you really don't have a joint like this. And I think you knew that you didn't have a joint like this, which is why you made the joint.
Yeah.
And it's very compelling. You know what I mean?
It is.
See, that's another thing with the storytelling. That's another
Extra
thing with the
credit. It matters.
storytelling.
Yeah.
It's like reading a book or watching a movie. Like if you
think
can
about this.
predict,
Like Slick Rick literally is in greatest of MC all-time conversations,
right?
strictly off of storytelling. That is how important it is.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
And I didn't
important
even
it
mention
is.
Slick Rick. I'm tweaking. Like, absolutely, Slick Rick as well. Like,
Yeah.
it's like watching a movie or reading a good book. You know, if you can predict everything, I don't feel like the story was that good. You know, if it's so predictable, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like it's rushed. You know what I'm saying? I haven't even really hit my peak with my storytelling capabilities yet. I'll be listening to like Blaze of 50 and Niggas Bleed, and I'll be like, damn, like what the fuck was them niggas on to where like they was able to pin that type of shit? That's the level I'm trying to get to. I know I haven't reached that yet. Like the storytelling is still an aspect of mine that I'm working on trying to get there. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I started telling less stories than what I used to in my music. So I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do a story every time. It's all about the feeling and what I'm trying to convey in the project. But I definitely want to get my storytelling like really up there, like high level. I would say if I had to grade myself on storytelling right now, I give myself like a B, like a solid B. But like I want that A plus plus. You know what I'm saying? And that's like the Biggie, the Cube, my Summer Vacation, the Blaze of 50s, the motherfucking Niggas Bleed. I got a story to tell. The just countless storytelling joints like Star Wars, like that's one of my favorite Nas songs, and like it's not like a story like Blaze of 50, but it is a story. It's like the progression of like the violence getting into hip hop, and you know what I'm saying, like how the shit was at that time. That was pre-drill. You know what I'm saying? So it's like those type of stories right there. Like I love them shits. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
No doubt. No doubt. City of God, Change, in Chicago, Don't Raise No Holes. Perfect sequencing to bring someone into Chicago out the gate.
Gratitude.
So I listened to those in sequence like 3 or 4 times, honestly, today while I was at the gym. And I'm like, I feel like I'm in Chicago right now, right? So I say that to ask this question for you. If you were to take 3 records or 3 albums from Chicago and put them in a capsule to capture Chicago, and I want you to include your catalog in there as well, what would those 3 records be?
Shit, 3 records, damn, and then I gotta include myself too. Yikes. All right. So I'm gonna say,
You mean albums, Shawn, or you mean songs?
Albums.
oh, albums. Okay.
Cool. Albums.
So first and foremost, I'm gonna say Adrenaline Rush. Shout out to Twister. Adrenaline Rush. That was like the first time. I'm not gonna say it was the first time it was done, but that was the first time my young ears heard Chicago put down so precisely and so on point in rap music for a whole project. You know what I'm saying? I was young at that time. That's 97. So I'm only what, 11 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely say Adrenaline Rush. For the second one, I'm gonna have to say, man, what would that second one be?
What's your favorite Kanye album? What's his best album to you? And does that crack your top 3?
I feel like his best is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but I don't know if that's my favorite. My favorite probably would be Late Registration, or
Me, you, and Coop the same.
Yeah. So
it might be
we're
like
the same.
Late Registration.
Late registration is me and AG shit too.
Yeah, I love Late Registration.
I love Late Registration.
I don't think Kanye got one in here. And no disrespect, but
no, that's why I'm asking, because there's a difference between shy shit and like rap shit.
yeah, like if I for the second one, like I'm trying to think.
Does Calm have an album that makes your top 3? Because I feel like One Day It'll All Make Sense is very Chicago.
Yeah, but I would have to put. See, it don't really sound like Chicago, but for me, I would have to put Food and Liquor in there, because Lupe came at a time to where it's like Chicago rap was lyrical, but it was super street, and he showed you just how far you can go with the imagination. But it was still Chicago.
You think Food and Liquor is better than The Cool?
I love the Cool, man.
Me
Shit, you
too.
talking about Superstar,
Favorite.
the Cool,
Yeah,
just the title track, put
yeah, the
you on
Cool's my favorite.
game.
Cool's my
You want
favorite.
to talk about storytelling, boy?
Man. But see, the thing,
Goodbye.
Hurt Me Soul. Hurt Me
There's
Soul is one of my favorite storytelling
Okay.
joints, and that's Food and Liquor. So I'm gonna have to say Food and Liquor. Like I
Okay.
have my moments to where I would prefer the Cool over Food and Liquor because those are my favorite two Lupe albums. I know everybody be talking about Tetsuo and Youth, but I kind of tapped out after a little after the Cool. You know
I
what
don't
I'm
love
saying?
Tetsuo and Youth. You and me are the same. I tapped out after the Cool. I look at Food and Liquor and the Cool the same way I look at College Dropout and Late Registration.
Absolutely. That's a perfect parallel. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's my
Absolutely.
three right there. If I were to say three and I got to include myself, I'm going to say Adrenaline Rush. I'm going to say Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor. And I'm going to say my second project from 2021, Hell's Angels and Heaven's Demons. I think both of those are three different dynamics of Chicago, with my shit being closer to Twista's Adrenaline Rush, but not like identical. It's just more. So Adrenaline Rush was from a street level. Shout out to Legendary Traction. Shout out Twister. Like it was from a street level to where it kind of took you on a day in the life of like Twister. You know what I'm saying? Food and Liquor is kind of like the little kid who grew up off Twister, but straight A student, and he has this wild ass imagination, but you could still feel that he's from inner city Chicago. And when my shit come in, that it's kind of like the socio-political talk mixed with the street, mixed with the lyricism, mixed with some creativity and imagination. So it's a little bit of both. So that would be my three. You know what I'm saying?
That makes perfect.
Yeah, he tied them together well. That's interesting. Dope question, Shawn. I'm surprised we didn't get B in there though.
I love B, but I just think when I'm just trying to really think of shit that really.
What's your favorite Common album?
Probably B.
Is it B? Okay. Yeah, you
But that
lying
doesn't
right
really
up.
scream the essence of Chicago to you, though, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Because
Okay.
by that time, Common was already who he is, you know. And I'm not saying it didn't have no Chicago feel. Like that project got the corner on it. I love the corner. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, but I just wanted to go like as street level as possible without being too grimy for all three selections.
So hold on. So for those of us outside of Chicago, when we're hearing B and we're hearing Common and Kanye, we're like, that is what Chicago sounds like. So you're telling me that's not necessarily the case, or that was the case for the time?
No, that's absolutely the case. That's absolutely the case. Like Chicago has a very backpacky type history. Like the backpacks was for spray cans and guns. You know what I'm saying? So it's like motherfuckers was backpack, but it was still a street element there. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a backpack full of glitter and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
might spray you, might blast you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it was like we come from that backpack shit too. Like New York influenced everybody, Chicago included. You know what I'm saying? So at a point in time, like before the industry kind of did away with the lyricists, that before the industry kind of inferred that you don't have to be a lyricist to be a star, when that was the formula and everybody wanted to be a lyricist, like that's when it started. Chicago had some of the best lyricists back then. I mean, we got a brother named Juice, J.U. Ice. He beat Eminem in battles before M was like really aftermath M twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we always had like them motherfuckers, them dogs, you know, but it's kind of like Chicago is like one of the biggest, we the third largest city. So we a big market too. So we take in everything and we kind of follow the leaderish when it comes to certain shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said earlier, like we trying to reestablish the MC in Chicago and put more respect back on that.
Chicago never forgot how to rap. That's the slogan, right?
Absolutely not.
Tell us before you get out of here about like, you know, what's going on, what's up next for you. Tell me about your management team. Tell me how you keep finding all of these dope ass artists in Chicago. I'm gonna tell you what else I got circling. We're gonna have to cover this, and I'm glad you brought this up. Oh, my favorite record on here is Been About That featuring the Little People, who you already bought up with Lil City. Hold on, which one of them got the last verse?
That's my bro Rufus Sims.
Yo, Rufus is nasty.
Yeah.
Like it was Jujilla on the last album that caught my attention. It was
Yeah.
Rufus on this album. I'm like, I Am God is a God MC, but he keep finding God MCs to rap with. Rufus is like Rufus verse, the cadence and the delivery and how he's catching the meter and the bars. Oh no, I hear all of that. I'm like, oh no, he done found another one. Where are you finding these dudes from? For real?
Me and Rufus first got in tune with each other, I want to say in 2022. You know what I'm saying? He was going by another name, Weasel Sims. You know, in 2023, I want to say he put out his first project under Rufus Sims. So, I mean, like I say, we're a big ass conglomerate. Like the city big, but it's really small. You know what I'm saying? And all of us is like around the same age. And I think this shit is destiny. Like the best way to put it, I think this shit is meant to be, because I called myself trying to quit rap. I came back late 2019, put out my first project since coming back in 2020. And every year since then, I've been running into like a bunch of raw ass artists from the crib that I didn't know exist. I was always familiar with Vic Spencer. Vic been doing it for a minute. Fillmore Green.
I know about Vic.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's bro, we got so many. And I'm talking about the women too. You know what I'm saying? Like the women too. Like I said it before, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I feel Chicago got the best MCs in the game right now, male or female. A lot of people not gonna agree because we not out there like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't see our faces and hear our names like how you hear and see these other people. But if you would do your due diligence and tap into the names that I'll be mentioning in these interviews, you will see why I say what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Chicago, to me right now, what we doing, we feel like what New York was in the 90s. How everybody is different, some similarities, but everybody different, but everybody was raw as hell. Everybody nice as fuck.
I'm pulling up.
That's how I feel about Chicago. We got so many fucking artists. Like, it's impossible for me to get work in with everybody. I would have to literally like do like a compilation, a double disc or some shit. That's how deep we is. You know what I'm saying? There's so many artists.
Oh, some Scarface, my homie shit. You'd have to do some my homie shit, like Scarface.
Yeah.
Like
and
with
that's
the whole
why
neighborhood.
that's why a lot of the features is Chicago artists, because I don't want to. I ain't as much shit as I talk in the music. I really don't have an ego about this shit. Like, I want, if it ain't me, cool. At least let one of these motherfuckers pop and be the next one. I'm cool with it not being me as long as somebody from here, you know what I'm saying, can make that shit happen. That's where the whole Chicago Never Forgot How to Rap thing came from. It ain't IAMGAWD never forgot how to rap. It's Chicago never forgot how to rap. This shit is for the crib. Like, it's those of us that's in love with this shit, that came up in this shit, passionate about this shit. And we didn't like the fact that everybody was just like connecting Chicago with drill and that was it. Like, yeah, we knew that's what it was, and we knew that that's what the popular sound was at the time. But we looking like we've been here too. Fuck y'all talking about. Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's the new fad. It's the new trend. But we feel like in Chicago, the artists and the lyricists got kind of like pushed to the background. You know what I'm saying? And we got a chip on our shoulder about that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's a lot of us. We deep as hell out here. You can't tell me shit about Chicago right now.
We pulling up. We pulling up this year. We pulling up. Clear point blank. No, I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up. I'm telling you, I'm pulling up this year. You have my word. I'm pulling up this year. I'm coming to the
telling you, we here. We out here.
No, I'm pulling up. Yeah. I feel it. I'm pulling up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that other shit. Y'all got anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, just be on the lookout for the music. More music, man. More music. I'm trying to do. I ain't because every time I say that shit, it never comes to fruition. Just know that I'm out here for the 2025. Like, I'm out here. Like, I know I normally hit y'all with like one project or two projects in a year. I'm trying to surpass that this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really out here. Like, I'm making a conscious effort, you know, to get more work out. And I really want to show y'all that, because like a lot of artists that have, I ain't gonna say a lot, but some artists that have put out a large volume of work within a year span, I noticed people saying you can hear that they was doing a lot in a little amount of time. You can hear it in the quality. Like, the quality may not be where it could be. I'm trying to show that you can put out a high volume of work within that time span, and all that shit can be top tier. That's my mission for this year.
I didn't have another question, but you know, you speaking to that right there, I noticed
I got
you kind of. Well, yeah, I noticed he was kind of rolling with the format of like, the shorter projects, like, present day, 8, 9, 10 tracks or whatever. So what's stopping you from maybe holding on to some songs and instead of putting out 2 projects within the same year, put out one lengthier project and, try to make that, full in player that's a classic. You know what I mean?
I think for that, when I get back to that, I do plan on at least dropping at least one super full length project, and that'll be probably like 14 joints. But my thing is with a full length projects, I don't want to beat a dead horse. You know what I'm saying? Like 14, after 14, I'm tapping out. Whether I'm listening
That's
or
like
whether
the
I'm
perfect
creating.
number for me for albums, 14 or 15.
Yeah, like for me, it's 12 to 14. I feel
Hold on. You talking 14 total records, or are you talking 14 actual songs?
14 songs on a project.
Okay.
So 12 to 14 is the sweet spot for me. I feel like that's enough for me to say everything I need to say, for me to exhibit every type of style I want to show, for me to flex and check off every box as an MC that I need to. Anything longer than that.
Let me ask you something.
I'm tapping out.
Let me ask you something. In that 12 to 14, how many guest appearances would you estimate for you to get your point across? Because for me, I tend to feel like a great artist can give you like maybe 9 solo records, but maybe another 4 or 5 records with contributions.
Out of 14, I feel like 5 is maybe too many. If I'm doing 14 joints, 3 or 4 gonna have features, and that includes maybe a vocalist on a hook. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
People have to pull up for you.
Huh?
People have to pull up for you versus
hold on. Now, when you say that, it was written only has 13 records, but let me try to run this down in my mind. Foxy's on the hook on Watch Them Niggas, so that would be 1.
It's a feature, but when I say feature, I mean like
something prominent.
Assistance on a song, like somebody took up a whole verse.
Somebody took up space. Somebody took up space. Oh no, there's not a lot of niggas taking up space when it was written. There's just
and it's 14 hit records if you count Silent Murder. So
yeah.
Okay. I can see what you're saying. I feel it.
Yeah. So 12, I'm looking to do maybe 3. I feel like that number not going to change whether it's 12 or 14. 12 or 14 songs, I'm looking for like 3 to 4 features. Because I want to also show that I'm a songwriter and that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I collaborate out of respect and out of just respecting an artist and what they can do, and wanting to push the envelope further as far as what I'm presenting. I don't collaborate out of necessity, and that's not to say I don't need any collaborators. You know what I'm saying? But I don't collaborate because I don't have what it takes to write a full song or to create a full song. I collaborate from a space of like, I respect this person, and I think if we mesh our shit together, we can, you know what I'm saying, make something raw. I love to collaborate when I feel like, the creative energy match. And even if it's something different than what I do, it might be a challenge to me to try to match that and come into that person's world or bring them into mine. You know what I'm saying? So I love collaboration, but it's never done out of necessity.
So I hate to bring this up because I do see the common similarity. Common felt like he had to leave Chicago to get his stardom, and he wasn't wrong because it was when he moved to New York. Even though he got with a Detroit producer who was Dilla, it was in New York where it happened. Are you possibly afraid about not getting your fair shake by staying in the Chi? Do you need to leave Chicago to become who you were supposed to be as an MC in this game? Because the person, even though I know Kanye had people ranked higher, I think Common is still the greatest MC to come out of your city. And when I look at his path, I do see some similarities to your path, but I'm also very clear in his path. He had classic songs. He had all-time classic songs. He had classic albums, but it wasn't until he left Chicago that he actually became the all-time great that he became. Do you feel like you need to leave the Chi to become the all-time great?
I definitely think I need to migrate just off getting my name out there more. Like, and when I say migrate, I mean performing in different states. You know what I'm saying? Hitting other bigger markets. But as far as just like, do I feel like I need to pick up and move? Maybe, but the way I look at it now, it's a different era. Like, we not picking up and moving for labels no more. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of
Right.
like we doing what you would call underground hip hop. Like where geographically is underground hip hop popping to where it's like it's all these opportunities and this is where you need to be. I don't think it's a place that exists like that for that specific genre of rap. I just think people move around based on opportunity and what's popping in that specific location. I'm not saying I don't need to move around, but I just don't think it's the same. I think back then the name of the game was getting a record deal, so you had to go where these labels was at. You know, nowadays a record deal ain't really the thing you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you migrating, but that's more so you trying to perform in front of different demographics, in front of different audiences. You trying to get your name out. You trying to spread the messages as far and wide as you can. So yes, I do need to migrate and get outside of Chicago, which I have, but I definitely need to do it more. You know what I'm saying? And more consistent. But as far as like picking up and moving, maybe I'm not gonna say no, I don't, but I'm not gonna say yeah, I have to. But I would definitely say yes, I do need to migrate and spread my wings, absolutely. But that shit take money. You can't just go nowhere and you know what I'm saying, expect to be put on nobody's stage like I'm the one. Like nah, like it's like I feel like I don't know the formula, but I feel like there is a formula, and it's just about striking at the right time while the iron is hot and being consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like my thing is like my consistency, like always being able to maintain. I feel like I can maintain a quality, but it's like not having as many longer gaps within projects. I ain't saying I gotta drop 10 times a year, but I also don't want to drop once a year or not even just twice a year. Like I want to drop at least like 3 times a year and give you a little shit in between.
Currency and Boldy's made a great career out of doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to, man. You got to be a self-starter. You got to basically live on the road, you know what I'm saying, when you're doing this underground hip-hop shit these days, because that's where money coming from.
Shawn, AG, y'all got anything before we wrap it up?
Nah, bro, this is dope. This is dope. You got one at the park with this new joint, bro. I appreciate the fact that you allowed us to kind of pick your brain and get into your mind and your creativity. Man, this is a blessing right here, bro. So we definitely appreciate that for real, for real.
I appreciate y'all. Anytime y'all extend a platform to me is always gratitude because y'all don't have to do this. Yeah. The way I look at it, like I'm like I that's why I look at y'all and a few others as like the real ones because I don't have to be up here. You know what I'm saying? For y'all to acknowledge me and show love. So I definitely appreciate that because a lot of people say it's easier to make it today than it was back in like the 90s or something. And I kind of disagree because this day and age, you have to sift through so much shit to get to like the gems. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think people want to condition themselves to do that. You get ear fatigue like that. So it's kind of like you settle with what you find that's to your liking. So I definitely appreciate y'all for continuously extending the platform as I don't take it for granted. Like I said, like I hold y'all in high regard as I do a few others. And you know what I'm saying? Let's just keep, putting on for the culture and for the real rap shit and the real hip hop together. I appreciate y'all. Much love and much gratitude.
Appreciate you, bro.
We appreciate you, man. Congrats.
Yes,
I think I'm gonna echo AG's sentiments. This is your most versatile and flexible project yet. All the great things that an MC does, you do on this project, and I'm impressed by it. So
gratitude.
We just want you to get what you deserve too. So that's what it's about for us. Yeah, we want you to get what you deserve too. Yeah.
That's love. I appreciate y'all, man. I am God. I am getting ahead without devolving. No mediocre. Chicago never forgot how to rap. Signing off. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all, man.
Peace, bro.
Appreciate you. Peace.
Appreciate you.
That was dope.
That was dope.
Next month will be 5 years that I've been doing podcasts. He's the best guy that I've come across since I've been doing this that doesn't have a cosign. And so listen to what I'm saying when I say this. I don't mean this to slight anybody. You have to understand somebody like AJ Snow, who we've interviewed, he has a Jansport J. Armin has a Scott Storch. IAMGAWD got nobody connected like that to him. Like, you get what I'm saying? So when I'm like supporting his stuff, people are like, Coop, why is he behind him? It's like, oh no, I'm behind him because nobody has gotten behind him the way I
Right.
feel. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, so I'm behind that shit right there because it's like, oh no, and this is no disrespect to AJ or Armin, but it's like, oh no, he's just as good as they are.
Yep.
And they have official cosigns. And so, and not a lot of people know this, but the person that I built the last brand with knows, oh, the main reason that I got into this was because I felt like as an artist, I did not get a fair shake. Like there wasn't proper support set up when the movement started changing, when the genre started changing, when the trend started changing. There wasn't proper support to let everybody exist in the space. The space used to exist as such that everybody could exist in the space. And so part of me existing in the podcast space was about wanting to promote anybody who I felt like have next. And I feel like he's one of those people that could have next. So I'm going to promote it because that didn't exist when I was an actual rapper. Like that didn't exist. It was like you was either underground and you committed to being underground and you built your underground following and you lived off of it and you hoped like a motherfucker like Pharrell or L.A. Reid or somebody will walk in the door one day and change your life. But if that shit didn't happen, it didn't happen. It didn't happen for 98% of people. You feel what I'm saying?
Way
The
too
way the
many
game,
hoops to jump through.
yeah, the way the game goes now, there's not even a hoop anymore. It's just like, nah, you just out here. There ain't even a hoop no more, fellas.
That's true.
Yeah, there ain't even a hoop to jump through no more. We the hoop.
Word.
We
That's
the
a
hoop.
fact.
Yeah,
That's
no, I'm not joking. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant or to bloviate in any sort of way. Like when I mean we the hoop, not like we just us, like this hip hop space that we exist in.
Yep.
We're the hoop that you got to jump through now. And so when I see him jumping through the hoops and being willing to jump through the hoops, and I listen to the music, and I'm like, oh no, that's the nicest motherfucker I heard jump through all these hoops in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Sure.
Without a cosign, without a Scott Storch, without a Jansport J, without a Hit Boy. You get what I'm saying? Without like all that shit. Without even somebody like Chris the Glove. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, he don't got none of that shit. Like, he's actually the one that's putting me on to people the last few years. Every time I listen to one of his projects, I found out about somebody else from Chicago I knew nothing about. And nigga, I'm not joking. I go on iTunes and they got a whole list of projects lined up. And I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers outside.
I got to tap into those artists that he got featured.
Yeah, Jujilla on the last one, on the Lost Souls that started off the last project. Jujilla got projects like on iTunes.
Okay.
Yeah, like he ain't just messing with people that got work. When he mean these dudes is working, oh no, they all getting the independent, like and plugging it up into the system and like all like they ready to go. They just need the proper cosign in these days and times. Like the cosign actually matters now more than it did even when we were coming up in this hip hop shit and learning about it. Because now if you don't have a cosign, you might just be resigned to existing in this space when you're greater than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lil Wayne told me, I met Wayne before Drake and Nicki got signed. Me and him I had a conversation with him. He told me about Drake and Nicki one time. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, like before he's like, no. He's like, I like what you're doing, but he's like, but I'm going somewhere because the music is going here. And he was right. You feel what I'm saying? But they got plugged into his system when he was the man. That's part of why they became who they were. Didn't nobody know who Drake was? The music was great. The music was great. The shit that Drake was making before was great. The shit that 50 was making, the shit that 50 was making before M and Dre was great. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
This how the game get played now. We the cosign now because oh no, those motherfuckers don't pull up and cosign nobody no more. It's like Jermaine Dupri said, it don't make sense for me as a label executive to sign an artist to an album deal anymore.
Yo, these spams are coming crazy. My bad. I'm trying to get these spams out the way. Shit, they come out of nowhere. But now, cool. That's a good point because that's why it's so important that what we do. You know what I mean? We in North Carolina with LT in his hood, reflecting on his life and his catalog. And shout out to LT in the chat tonight as well. You know what I mean? Pulling up and showing love with IAMGAWD. You know, we got rappers over there in Vegas hitting us up, wanting, to get our opinion on their music. You know what I mean? Shout out to Jay Saw from Vegas, asking, can we come out to Vegas and A&R's project? You know what I mean? Because they respect the fact that we are unbiased and we're giving out specific points and opinions on things. I mean, shout out to New Orleans, Juvie Tuesdays. You know, we in there, we got young artists out of New Orleans who want to spit and want to come out here and show what they can do on our platform.
Jack in Las Vegas want us to A&R his project. Not Crazy Jack.
No. I said Jay Sa. He's the guy sent you guys his music about a month ago. That track.
Yes. Okay.
He's asking us to come and do A&R his project when he get back into the studio in the summer. You know what I mean? We got stuff on tap in New Orleans.
I'll fly out there. I will fly out there and do that shit. Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Yes, I will. I'll fly out.
So it's important. It's important that platforms that like Hip Hop Talks, we give the authentic real. We're not out here doing. Let me relax. But we're doing it for the people. We're not doing it for nothing else but the people. And I'm glad that the artists see that, big or small or in between. Pause. I'm glad they're seeing that.
Wow.
I said pause before I said it, though. You know what I mean? So can we get to the proceedings that proceeds?
I'm sorry. That's me being childish.
I'm just saying.
No, that was me. I was being childish.
I want
to apologize. Hold on. Let's get the new music. New music. So Clipse, Mike Tyson, blow to the face.
Yes.
A lot of people feel like that. I'm getting worried that this is not necessarily going on the new Clipse album, that this is actually part of a Pharrell movie project and is going to be on the soundtrack to the Pharrell movie project. Did I just crack everybody's face and fuck your day up with that? No? Is it bad for you?
Man. Because I don't know. Me excited for the project, bro.
No, I don't. I think not confirmed, but I have been told that Pharrell has a movie coming out, and that this is actually might be more connected to the movie project than the actual Clipse album. Hence, only getting the Pusha T. And because I was wondering, I can't front, guys. When I was listening to the content, I was like, well, how is No Malice, not Malice, how is No Malice going to rap over the Mike Tyson blow to the face? And when he mean blow to the face, he's not talking about a right hook or an uppercut, nigga. He's not talking about an uppercut. He's not talking about 88 Mike knocking out Speaks. That's not the type of blow to the face that Pusha T talks about. And
but that's always what made them brilliant, was that juxtaposition, even before he became No Malice. You know what I mean? He always talked about the remorse of it all, you know?
I think the remorse exists on Hell Hath No Fury. The remorse is evident until the casket drops. Or Lord willing, these niggas are some dope peddling ass niggas.
That was the introduction, man.
Dope. No, these motherfuckers are dope boy fresh on Lord willing. They are pushing keys of cocaine, and they are fucking pimping hoes and talking shit in the process of pimping hoes and pushing cocaine. All right, that's what they are doing. Lord willing has contrition to it. Till the casket drops is when you hear it, but blow to the face, nigga, it definitely feels like more like a Pharrell Pusha T thing than a Clipse thing. What say to you if the fact that it ends up on a Pharrell produced movie ass? I don't know what the fuck going on anymore. The album taking too goddamn long. Been hearing about this shit since last summer. Pissing me off. Getting on my
They're waiting on a feature.
Ain't nobody waiting on that feature no more. All right? Like Rakim said, nobody been this long awaited since Jesus.
The rumor was the feature was Kendrick, but then it was a rumor swirling that the feature was done. So I don't know what the holdup is, but that just messed me up, because when I heard the snippet, I became really excited for the album. I said, okay.
Jesus was gone for 3 days, not for 3 years. This is taking forever. All right, it's 3 days. It's 3 days in the comeback. You got to turn back around. Yeah, they should know what these motherfuckers so dope. They should know what the comeback look like. It don't take this long for the comeback when you cook it. Shit is taking forever.
Forever. Let's put it out. Let's get over with. Stop playing around with it.
All right. In other news, nobody talked about the fact that Westside Gunn just dropped 12, because mostly he said that he was retired and he wasn't dropping the album. But whatever. Record actually turned out to be pretty good. Guys, thoughts on Westside Gunn's 12?
What's wrong with you, man?
No,
you want to go first on?
These niggas are so sick of all this shit, nigga. You want to know what? I'm going to tell you the truth. This is why I fuck with IAMGAWD. I don't have to deal with none of this other shit with IAMGAWD. He's like, yo, guess what? I got a project coming. Here's the preview to the project. Here's the
Yo,
project. Can I get an interview? When you need me to pull up? Can you pull up then? I'll be there. All right. Have a good time. Good night. Here's all my plugs and connects, nigga. Good night. Why the fuck can't this shit be so simple?
crazy. Yeah, F and LB need to like moderate the chat or something. But anyway, the project. Oh man, like I really love this Westside Gunn project. But for me, you want to talk about an album need to hurry up and drop. We need that Stove God. We need that Stove God. It's a run of 3 or 4 songs in the beginning of the album. They all got Stove God on it, and it just made me want more Stove God content. That 055, crazy.
7 of the 12 tracks, AG.
Yeah. He got a whole 4-track run on the album where Stove God's just going off, man. And I'm like, man, when are we going to finally get that project? But you know, the man of the hour is Westside Gunn. This is his project. What I want to ask y'all, I really enjoy this, and it would even crack my top 5 Westside projects.
Shawn, your turn.
No, man.
You don't think?
No, AG.
I don't know, man. This joint is pretty tough, bro.
No, first of all, it's not better than B-side of 10.
Right.
Yes.
That's in my top 5.
It's not better than Pray for Paris.
So Pray for Paris is number 1.
It's not better than Blind Tell.
Yeah.
You think it's better than Blind Tell?
No, I'm agreeing with you. So that's 3. See, you running into trouble, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. This joint hard, man. Pause.
Okay, so hold on.
Crazy.
Can I submit something to you? So here's my problem with it, and I had to be honest with myself about it because people press me about it. They look like what Mobb Deep would have looked like if Mobb Deep would have kept on doing what they're doing, but what Mobb Deep was doing wasn't working at the same clip that it was working at after Murder Music.
Say that again, because I didn't follow.
Yeah.
What? Okay, so the aesthetic, the hip hop aesthetic that they follow.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
People like they brought East Coast, rap back, East Coast gangster rap back, but really they brought that Mobb Deep shit back more than anything else. Is that fair? Like
I've always likened them to the Locks more than Mobb Deep, but I see where you're going.
I think style wise they're more Mobb Deep. If you want to say lyrically they're more Locks, I'll give you that because I get what you're saying because it's Prodigy when you're talking lyrically, and you got Kiss, Styles, and Chic. Like that's fucking bar seminar shit every time they step to the mic. So I feel what you're saying on that, AG. I mean the aesthetic, the feel, the way the music feel, not the bars, the way the music feel. It's hard to keep recreating that sound at a high clip is what I am finding out. You get what I'm saying?
That's just what IAMGAWD just got through talking about, is giving different looks every time out, Yeah.
Well, okay, so because he's in the same kind of, he's younger than us, but he's in the same roundabout bracket as us. So he has watched somebody like a Mobb Deep. Quite frankly, I mean, let's just call it what it is. Even though the first 3 albums after Juvenile Hell are great, they are progressively worse. It's hard to keep that aesthetic. We're clear that The Infamous is the best album, right? Even if you prefer Hell on Earth, we're clear that The Infamous is the best album because of the songs, right?
I'm not. Me and Shawn had this conversation last night. I'm not clear.
He's not clear. It's got low still on
Shawn.
We just talked about this last night, did we not?
No. God damn it, we're doing intervention live on air. AG, respectfully speaking, and I say this respectfully as somebody that loves the production on Hell on Earth and actually think that Prodigy it might be Havoc's best beat tape. It might be Prodigy's best mic performance. But here's the reality of the matter, AG. Survival of the fittest. Eye for an eye.
The songs are too big.
Give up the goods. Shook ones. You're just not fucking with the songs, fam.
The highs are too high.
You can't win with the songs. You can't win with the song, so it is the infamous. If you want to break it down and get into like the intricacies of art and be like, oh well, beat for beat, Havoc is better with the drums because the drums actually are better on Hell on Earth than they are on the infamous.
Well, here's how I look at Hell on Earth versus the infamous. And it's a tough argument. I look at the infamous like Jordan in his 88 season, defensive player of the year, scoring title, dunk contest, whatever. But
no, he was MVP that year. They robbed him.
MVP. He was MVP in 88. He didn't win the chip though. And I look at Hell on Earth like 91, Mike, where everything came together. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't have as much individual accolades that year, but he won the chip. It was,
okay,
you know what I'm saying?
So how about this?
You know,
the people that shit, what people remember Mobb Deep for? Oh, that's on the infamous. What we as hip hop heads remember them for might be Hell on Earth.
Yeah.
But what hip hop remember them for is on the infamous. It's their album. And all I'm saying that to illustrate is that for the style of music that is being done. It is hard to progressively get better. You usually progressively get worse. Like
they had 3 5 Mike albums in a row.
Yeah, so it's like, are those 3 albums classic? Yeah, but them classics is built different.
Yes.
Hell on Earth ain't classic the way that the infamous is classic, and Murder Music ain't classic the way Hell on Earth is classic.
That's fair.
There's a reason for it. And so the same thing is happening to Griselda. Okay, somebody is pulling up, talking about the okay. Thank you. Somebody in the chat.
We get spams.
I just say that to say that there are levels to what they are doing. And so I say this to say my biggest problem with this album is that this album is really, really fucking dope. But they have actually done this better before, and so they are the victim of their own success in a lot of ways. Because quite frankly, Stove, I'm so tired of Stove sounding great that I almost don't want a Stove album anymore, AG. Because you've given so many. No. Listen to what I'm saying. You've given so many albums worth of material away that I'm starting to wonder what it looks like as a solo artist. Because I used to look at it like a Method Man thing. And you looked at it like a Method Man thing. That was 3 years ago when I looked at it like that, AG. Meth put out a few solo projects.
Stove has too much flair to not put out anything else. Like, dude's a star, man. Oh, and speaking of Method Man, which album does our bar seminar come from?
His best verse does a Jose Canseco. His best verse, first of all, y'all picked that. Shawn picked the extortion verse. Shawn picked the extortion verse. And it's not even a Mobb Deep member that got the verse. No. I'm cool with extortion. I love Method Man on extortion. It's great. It's no shadow boxing or Wu Gambinos, but it's damn good. It's Method Man. It's not even NYC everything, but it's Method Man. He might be the best 16-bar guest appearance guy ever. But what I'm saying is that even what Stove is suffering from is the fact that, no, guys, his best verse is still Jose Canseco. That's off the Fly God 2 album in 2020. That's still his best verse. Reasonable Drought is 2020. That was 5 years ago, guys. So even when we're talking about the Stove album, are you sure the Stove album is going to be great? Because, guys, we've been waiting for the Stove album. Listen to this. We've been waiting for the Stove album for over 4 years now. Are y'all sure the Stove album is going to be great? Because he done gave him Vogue cover, Avarex, 99 Avarex. You get what I'm saying? Stove done put a lot of shit out. He might have spent the wheel when he should have been keeping shit in the bag. I hope he kept shit in the bag.
We got to say that. You was talking about the best album since 2017. Stove has arguably a top 5 to 10 album since 2020. You know what I mean? So, and then plus his features the boot.
He has a top 20 album since 2020. Top 20.
I think it's top 10.
Hold on. Look, back up.
Yes.
Back up. 2020?
In the last 5 years.
You think hold on. So you think
you could name 19 better albums better than Reasonable Drought in the last 5 years?
No, you could better name 10.
Cheat Codes is better than Cheat Codes?
I don't have Cheat Codes higher than Reasonable Drought.
You don't think Cheat Codes is better than Reasonable Drought?
I do not.
I'm going to have this conversation any further.
Production alone clears.
I don't want to talk to you. No, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. No Gold Teeth and Aquamarine is better than everything on Reasonable Drought. But okay.
Production alone clears it.
The production don't clear. Danger Mouse. Danger Mouse's production job Oh, and Cheat Codes is severely underrated. I do not think Reasonable Drought's better than Cheat Codes.
It's dope. It's dope.
We can put it. I would like to put that up for a poll. Cheat Codes,
but I just think that would be hard pressed to name 19 albums better than Reasonable Drought in the past 5 years, bro.
I mean, no. What you're saying, I mean, no, that's not that unreasonable because that's saying that I'm saying when I'm saying it's top 20, I'm saying that it's like, well, if you're actually going by years, how about this? You think it's better than King's Disease 1?
Probably. I mean, no, it's close, but I'll give the edge to KD1.
Okay, so listen to what you're saying. If you're saying you're giving the edge to KD1, then 6 of Nas's projects are already ahead. So he's already.
I wouldn't put Magic 2 above it. Okay, so he's already in 6th place just off the Nas projects. Are you sure it's top 20 in the last 5 years? Because based on what you said, he's starting off at 6. If we're starting off the Nas projects, Pray for Paris came out in 2020, so he's at 7. So did Alfredo. Soul Separately.
That's 9.
I'm running out.
That's it.
Oh, From a King to a God.
No.
You think Reasonable Drought's better than From a King to a God?
I do.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I'll station head you and I will wax that ass.
No, I've already done it, Coop. Like, and I lost. I'm gonna
shout out to Tripe.
Shout out to Tripe.
You've already done it.
Yeah. I tried it against Shawn and Tripe, and I lost.
Hold on. If y'all think Reasonable Drought is better than From a King to a God, y'all are overrating Reasonable Drought. From a King to a God is one of the 5 best bar seminars of the last 10 years.
It's Reasonable Drought has everything. It's just so many quotables, the production, just like that. He gained so much equity with that album. That's why I'm still anticipating the next one.
No, I'm sorry, I'm not there. I love Reasonable. No, I love Reasonable Drought. It is of in my time of doing this, it'll be 5 years next month that I've been doing this. It is the most impressive album that I've heard from somebody that I knew nothing about before I did this. Of course, if we're talking about that, but it's not better From a King to a God. Reasonable Drought's not better From a King to a God. No way. Not.
Man, we have to agree to disagree.
Not. I'm sorry. And listen to what I'm saying when I say this. Conway is way too versatile on From a King to a God for y'all to be saying that about him. Because Reasonable Drought has one theme, has one content, has one style, and has one flow, and he's great in that flow. But Conway is all over the place From a King to a God in a brilliant way. Conway is trading bars with Method Man. He is doing Mobb Deep shit with Havoc. He is pulling beats from everywhere. He is doing shit with Armani. He is pulling shit. Yeah, he was in the bag.
Method Man, and speaking of versatility, me and Shawn already established early in the show, Tupac was more versatile than Method Man on Tikal on Strictly, but we still have Tikal better than Strictly. So versatility isn't everything.
Yeah. But just because y'all said that don't mean y'all right. Y'all can be wrong. Which you are. You just happen to be wrong. No, AG, I like how you slid that in. It's like, well, me and Shawn thought this about Tikal. It's like, no. Y'all thought Tikal is better than Strictly for My Niggas. Y'all was just wrong about it. It's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with y'all being wrong. I'm used to y'all being wrong.
Yo, we'll put these polls up. We'll put Tikal up against Strictly on the socials, and we'll put From a King to a God up against Reasonable Drought. Let's do it.
From a King to a God is better than Reasonable Drought. That is wild to me.
We'll put the polls up.
I didn't even think that was a conversation. I didn't think it was a conversation, but okay.
I'll put them up right now.
I'm here to enlighten, Coop.
Apparently,
super chat.
Apparently, I am the problem, and I'm the one that needs help.
Yeah. But we're here.
we got a super chat.
No, you're not here. We gotta go. That's time to go. Double Barrel, 12 is fire. Can't stop playing. Shout out to y'all. No, it is fire. It's just like, how many times have they made this piece of fire over this wood on this log when we talk about Mobb Deep's catalog not being top 10 of all time for a group sometimes. Okay, 007, 499. Queens Get the Money. Slow down, Coop. Murder Music was a moment. There were bangers in there. Don't forget Wear Your Heart Out. Mobb Deep Forever. Yes. No, how about this? The songs on Murder Music are actually more enjoyable to listen to than the songs on Hell on Earth. That don't make them better.
Okay, I feel you using. I feel that the part that you're using it as an analogy or an example or whatever. But I don't think it's fair to Griselda to use Mobb Deep's shortcomings against them, because their approach to releasing music has been totally different than Mobb's.
Well, I'm
So
using Mobb Deep as actually a good marker because using the locks isn't a high marker in terms of album making. That's why I'm using Mobb Deep.
But Griselda releases projects at a way higher clip than what Mobb did. And if just the law of, percentages and stuff, if you put more shots up, the chances are you're going to miss more the more you take. So
No, hold on. So when I said that you could put the Griselda catalog up against the Mobb catalog for 50 songs and Griselda might win, people looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, no, y'all thinking about Mobb Deep's 20 best songs. What about the next 30? About the volume. So I'm clear on the thing that you're talking about. But the reality of the matter is, in terms of their album making ability, they're closer to Mobb Deep than they are the Locks. Because quite frankly, in my opinion, Pray for Paris is pretty much better than anything that the Locks ever made.
Yeah, Griselda has more classic material laying around, but in a versus, I think they would still lose against the Mobb's catalog because the Mobb's too beloved. You know what I'm saying?
I think the Locks is losing to the Mobb. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean,
Jadakiss, how about this? Jadakiss, how about this? Jadakiss
Yeah.
can't kick that "Who Shot Your" freestyle against Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep just gonna drop shook ones or quiet
that's
storm
not gonna work.
or give up the goods
not gonna work
or
in that
survival
arena.
of the fittest. They got fucking back. They like, oh, you dropped that? Be like, that's cute, nigga. We got 5 of those. Let's go.
Listen, I love Jada, but that ain't gonna work there.
That ain't gonna work against Mobb. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Not many will work against Mobb. Let's keep it a buck. Even OutKast would have a long day messing with Mobb.
No, hold on. I personally think that OutKast's catalog is better than Mobb Deep. But if we're picking 20 songs,
it's a long day.
I'm ahead, so I already know what the shit sound like when it dropped. Like, how about this? Players Ball don't feel the way Survival of the Fittest feel when it dropped. Like most people's introduction to Mobb Deep is Survival of the Fittest. Most people's introduction to OutKast is Players Ball. Oh, that ain't the type of introduction in terms of how the shit grip you.
I'll give your versatility point some credence there, because going up against OutKast, if they were to win, which it would be close, it would be based off the versatility alone, and I think nothing else.
You'd have to. How about this with Mobb Deep? This is the thing. This is between Mobb Deep and OutKast. For Mobb Deep, you can just play Mobb Deep's bangers. For OutKast, you'd have to think about it to beat Mobb Deep, and that's the problem. Like, you would have to play certain records to offset certain shit. Like, you'd have to think outside the box, because just playing OutKast quote unquote bangers, like the hits, the singles, then you're not.
You would have to get heavy in the ATLiens bag to
lose
with Mobb Deep.
Like if you just pick the records, just standing straight up and down that people know between Mobb and OutKast, Mobb would probably win like 13 to like 8. Like, you'd have to pick some shit. Yeah, because it's too much. But it's too much for almost everybody, though. It's too much for almost everybody. You understand? Like, they give, like, Mobb Deep would give NWA, Public Enemy, EPMD, like De La Soul Tribe, like the Roots, anybody. Like, Mobb give anybody a problem. You understand that, right?
It's a long day.
Yeah. Like to me, they're a borderline top 5 group all time. Like, no, they have a problem. Because they high level shit. Their high level shit is what East Coast gangster rap is based off of, quite frankly.
Yeah.
So what we got next, fellas?
In news, we have Reasonable Doubt.
Oh, we got more new music first.
Is there more new music? Why?
I
thought we covered Westside.
The boy dropped a project, man.
No, we're not there yet. Let's
we hold that. Okay.
Yeah. We'll finish off with that.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah.
But Reasonable Doubt by Jay-Z did get inducted into Grammys Hall of Fame. Okay, Shawn, you're the player hater extraordinaire of the bunch.
Not a hater.
You're not a hater. You just crush a lot, right?
No,
crushing ass. Go ahead and talk, nigga.
This is crazy. Anybody who think that this is cool is ridiculous.
God. It's okay. It's perfectly okay, Shawn.
Wait, what, Shawn?
I'm okay with it being in there at some point, pause, but not before Illmatic.
There you go. Okay.
It can't happen.
I'm with you.
Don't leapfrog Illmatic and go to this. It's not right. It's not culturally right. It's not ethically right. It's not morally right. This is ridiculous. And if Coop thinks that this is cool, then shame on Coop. Shame on Armand Cooper, because this is ridiculous. There is no damn way that Reasonable Doubt should be getting in some kind of Hall of Fame of Grammys or anything before Reasonable. I mean, before Illmatic, or even It Was Written. I'll put It Was Written in a Hall of Fame.
But let's not make it a Jay-Z Nas thing, Shawn. Like, is 36 Chambers is not in there, right?
No.
You know,
not right.
I mean, stuff like that. If it preceded it, if it's other classic albums that preceded it that's eligible, then I think with what you're saying, those should get in first.
I'm okay with it. Run it back. Start at the inception of the years. Don't just leapfrog all these other perfect projects to put this in that. It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. It just doesn't make sense. And I love Reasonable Doubt. I think Reasonable Doubt is his number one
best rap albums ever. It's one of the best rap albums ever.
You said one, or they say one, or they say D. No, you're right. It's one.
He was about to get triggered.
Oh my God, it's about to be bad. It's about to be bad. Shawn was about to be like, I'm changing my flight.
Shawn had a palpitation.
Look here. Shawn was about to go in his phone.
Wait, cool. Shawn clutched his pearls.
Shawn was about to listen. AG. Shawn was about to change his flight and come to Atlanta. Like, where's this thing? He's about to change the flight. He's about to change the flight. The whole flight was about to change. Did you know the flight was about to change? The whole flight was about to change. Okay.
Yo, that's crazy.
Okay. Here's the reality of the matter. AG, you want to go or should I go? What's up?
Nah, I'm cool. I'm gonna echo those sentiments. I'm cool with it being there. It definitely should be there, but I do think we should start earlier on in hip hop and go like don't leapfrog other legendary albums. So like when did the Grammy start? Does anybody know?
It started rewarding us in 1989, 1988 with Fresh Prince.
Okay, then I think you should start there. And then,
so 88?
88, 89.
So let's stop.
Paid in Full was 82.
That's my whole thing with. Go ahead, AG. I want you to finish.
No. I was just saying, like, you should start. Paid in Full was 87, but let's start with classic albums that came around in that era when the Grammys first started, and then keep down the line. I think that's more fair. I don't want to make it a like, it's before Illmatic or it was written kind of deal. But
so what I was about to say. Let's not make it an Illmatic thing. Let's make it a hip hop thing. So I don't disagree with what Shawn is saying. So I'm more in line with what you were saying, AG. Let's make it. No, you missed. It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back.
There you go. Yeah,
I'm okay.
Okay, you missed The Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick. You missed America's Most Wanted. You missed Death Certificate. You missed Doggy Style. You missed The Chronic. You missed Enter the Wu-Tang. You missed Illmatic. You missed Ready to Die. You missed Only Built for Cuban Links, and like in the infamous, like, so let's understand who Jay is and understand that. Let's put the pressure on Jay to highlight the fact that those albums that his ass was raised on, that he talks about so glowingly, didn't make it before him. Because, not being funny, he got a bad habit of pulling up in this shit like he was the first motherfucker to do it, knowing good and damn well he wasn't the first. Because he'll talk in a rap about how he rode other people's coattails, but then he'll pull up to the ceremony like, first nigga to do it. It's like, no, you weren't. Cool G Rap was the first nigga, and he made a song about it, and then he talked about it. It wasn't you.
Right. I got a controversial. That's what need
to happen. So
I got a controversial question for both of y'all.
Jay need to step to the mic and be like, motherfucker, paid in full. It takes a nation of millions. That's the hater in you talking. We gonna pray about it.
The speech that he gave for Beyonce at the Grammys last year, he's not gonna do that for hip hop as a culture. He's not gonna do that. But I got a controversial question for both of y'all because I like where we're going with this. So if we do that, for acknowledge the early years of hip hop forward versus other albums leapfrogging, is your buy-in to get inducted? Like, what if that album was, you said they started honoring us in 1989, What if said album was never up for a Grammy Award that respective year? Should you still get consideration?
Is now a good time to say fuck them crackers?
Whoa,
Yo, that's crazy.
that is crazy.
That's
Come on,
crazy.
No.
Use the opinion of Cooper, his of his own. but for real, like if Reasonable Doubt wasn't nominated for a Grammy in '96, should that be the buy-in or no? You see what I'm saying? Every year they like going through the cycle of, you know, hip hop albums that should make it. Do you think that the buy-in should be, well, at least at one point had to be a Grammy nominee
yes
to be
and no.
inducted?
Yes and no. I see where you're going with that, because that's very difficult, because revisionist history, right? It's like going back and say, let me go back and re-rate this actual album. I didn't put it at 5 when it first came out. Let me go back and do a do-over. That's no different than a Grammy. If you didn't get a nom back then how can you retroactive that nom to say he should be in that category? Here's the thing. What criteria are you using?
I'm trying to think who were the Grammy nominees in '96.
I don't know.
Because it would have been for 95. No, that's
probably
95.
the score. If I had to bet, I would say the score.
No. The 96 Grammy winner would have been from the awards in 95. So that's Naughty by Nature with Poverty's Paradise, because that's 1995. That's the Return to the 36 Chambers got nominated.
Let me check real quick.
I feel like that as far as 96, right? In terms of the year the award got handed out.
Yeah, because it's the next cycle year that
it's the next cycle. So
right.
That's the Poverty Paradise year, which, by the way, is Naughty by Nature's worst album.
I mean, that raises the question: should the winning albums be inducted to the know the Grammy?
That's 196.
Huh?
Gangsta Paradise won in 96.
Gangsta Paradise, Coolio.
Yeah.
Okay, that's still a 95 record though. Hold on, for album.
He won for best rap solo performance.
Right. What one album? Yeah, the album should be Poverty's Paradise.
Rap album of the year. Was that even a category in '96 though?
No, it is Poverty's Paradise by Naughty by Nature, I think.
Let me see.
So I don't think Jeopardy music when you need it.
No, I don't see it. It's not showing up. Fuji's won in '97, but I don't think '96 had one for hip hop.
96 didn't have one? No. 96 had a Naughty by Nature won in 96. I'm pretty certain. Poverty's Paradise came out in 95. That was Craziest and Feel Me Flow.
Somebody help me out with this. I just not pulling up. Somebody in the chat help me out with this. I don't see it anywhere. But be as it may.
Dropped the ball, bro.
Yeah. It started. LP said it started in '96. So if it started in '96, then that would be that'd be the Fugees.
But Fugees would have been nominated in '97, would it not?
Yes.
No, because it was the '97 Grammys where Puff and Wu-Tang were up for the rap album.
No, it's Naughty by Nature, guys.
It's Naughty by Nature. It's Naughty by Nature.
Yeah, Naughty by Nature won in 1996 for Poverty's Paradise. Yeah.
Okay.
I just remember because that's what really started the ODB shit. Because ODB lost that year. So when he went up with the Wu-Tang for the Children shit, it's because ODB lost and then Wu-Tang lost.
Right.
Because think about it, that was back to back. That was kind of like within 2 out of 3 years where he was like, hold
2
on.
years.
Like, yeah.
But that's kind of all I'm asking. Like, okay, Naughty got actual Grammy win. And granted, the Grammys are the Grammys and we say they're out of touch. We don't care about it, whatever. But all I'm asking
until they do it right. And then we'd be like, oh, we care.
All I'm asking is, are the former hip hop album winners, do they get consideration, or are they going back and just acknowledging classic albums?
Okay, so here's how I feel like. I think that I'm not sure when the best album thing started happening. I feel like Naughty by Nature might have been the first group to win best rap album, because when DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince won, it was for best rap performance, not best rap album. So I do not know when best rap album became a thing. So Naughty by Nature might be the first ones to win best rap album though. I'm not
from
sure
the other side of things, it behooves the Grammys to give Jay this award to because
Yeah,
you know,
always.
he did his whole complaint speech last year. You know, Beyonce finally won for the country album this year, and they honored him this year. It's all lining up with you know, everything that's transpired over the last year or so. It deserves to be there, but the optics are what they are. You know what I mean?
AG is like it's a conspiracy. These niggas are trying to kill
CON
J and Bay.
conspiracy.
Yes.
Trying to kill J and Bay. He's like they're trying to take rid of J and Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it should be there. But I'm with Shawn. It shouldn't leapfrog other albums. But I don't want to make it just the Illmatic thing. It's a lot of albums that I would put in ahead of Reasonable Doubt.
Not at all.
Right. Okay, so how about this? If you think Reasonable Doubt is a top 20 rap album,
I do.
and I can respect that, understand that there's at least 10 to 12 albums that come out before it. At least. Like bare minimum. No matter how high that you think about Reasonable Doubt, that probably will deserve this honor before Reasonable Doubt. And that's the problem with it. It's like, oh no, there are 10 to 12 albums before Reasonable Doubt. Better.
We're all in agreement there.
Damn,
better.
It
ain't even it's not about the greatness of Reasonable Doubt. It's like, oh no, those of us that know that there are about 10 to 12 albums before Reasonable Doubt that are better.
Yeah.
See, look. Rewind 1 year. See the infamous by Mobb Deep and Only Built for Cuban Links.
We just talked about Me Against the World.
Yeah.
See Illmatic, Ready to Die. Enter the Wu-Tang.
This is controversial, but I think Reasonable Doubt's better than Ready to Die. But that's just me.
I used to think that, and I'm going to tell you where Ready to Die wins. The production is so superior on Ready to Die. You can't say that. The songs are bigger and the production is better, and you can't tell me that Jay is that much sicker than Big. Nah.
I actually disagree on all those accounts.
I would never concede.
You think the production is better on Reasonable Doubt?
I do.
Oh no! Give me Easy
P was
beats.
doing his thing on there, bro.
You
then you got three primo beats. Like, I mean,
them three primo beats. How about this? And not one of those three primo beats is better than the one primo beat he gave Big. Not one.
I'd put the Evils up there, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. That's a whole nother.
Hold on, AG. Let me ask you something.
Man.
Do you think the Evils is a better song than Everyday Struggle?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Whoa, Shawn gave Jay some credit. Okay, that's
I don't dislike Jay like that. I don't hate
Hold on. Watch this. Watch this. Where's the Evils all time in terms of Jay catalog in terms of the song?
It's a top 5 song of his.
It's definitely up. Yeah.
Where's Everyday Struggle for Big?
It's not in this top 5 to me.
All right, there we go. That's my whole point. But those songs are comparable, and that's why Ready to Die is better than Reasonable Doubt. Because Jay's
Who
best
said
song.
They were comparable?
Damn, cool.
They are comparable. They are comparable.
Who said they were comparable? Other than you,
I said they were comparable.
They're comparable because you literally compared them. But I told you what one.
Hold on. What's the best song on Ready to Die to you, AG?
I'm gonna go with. Actually, my favorite is Unbelievable, but I'm gonna go with shit. I love Warning, man. I mean, I really love Warning. From storytelling, the beat, just everything he does on there, rapping the 2 different voices. Like, he does everything that can be done on a song on there.
You think Warning is the best song on Ready to Die?
I mean, I would objectively say so.
Shawn?
Things don't change.
Y'all think both of those records are better than Everyday Struggle?
I do. I think Juicy's better than Everyday Struggle.
Yeah.
Y'all are tripping. Y'all are fucking tripping.
Juicy's one of the greatest songs of all time, bro. Like, I mean,
I personally think Juicy is okay. So I'm gonna tell you what I think. I Get Around by Tupac is overrated, and I think Juicy by Big is overrated. I do.
I'm not mad at anybody saying anything is overrated. I mean, it is rated up there pretty high. So if you disagree, then I'm cool with that.
You said Tupac, I Get Around is overrated?
I do think it's overrated. I never loved that beat. And that's me, and you know how I feel about Pac. I never felt
how
like
you gonna wax poetic about Strictly and then say that song is overrated, Coop? Make it make sense.
Because I'm objective. That's why. It's not my personal feelings involved. No, I'm not confused. See, you're asking me personally what I think personally, how I feel about
Okay, so objective versus personal. Okay.
Right.
I got you.
Right. My objective, when I'm talking about strictly for my niggas, those are my objective thoughts about what I've seen because I was influenced by it because musically, AG, I'm more aligned with you. But I've learned that not to lean on my own understanding. No. I'm very clear about how all the girls that were around me around the time felt about him and felt about that album. I'm very clear about how all the street niggas felt about that shit that I was around. So even though musically, when I listen to it, I'm like, nah, that ain't it. When everybody around you is like, nah, it's it. That matters.
See, I didn't have that. Everybody around me wasn't on that like that. I mean,
that's
it was popular.
So when you explained it to me, I was like, oh no, my experience of it live in real time was different, and that's why our perspective is different. And so so personally, when I listen to I Get Around, it's like that beat ain't round and round, boom, boom, boom. No,
but you can tell my surprise when we were texting in the group chat. I was like, whoa, I've never heard nobody else call this a classic. And honestly, God, I literally never heard nobody say that.
But it has more to do with the influences around me because people around me was talking and walking and acting like that in real time. It wasn't me. Like, because I feel like more like you musically. Like, musically, it's like, I'll give it a 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But when try to explain that shit to some of the people I knew. Oh, you tripping. You don't fuck with Pac, nigga.
And you know what? You know, not to go off on a crazy tangent, but I think that's the problem with hip hop in a whole because in our inner circles, we rate stuff in a vacuum and we think just because us and our crew think something is the greatest thing ever, that spans like, you know, nationwide or worldwide. And a lot of times it don't be like that.
Like, I'm gonna tell you what, part of why I love the Purple Tape so much. Oh no, I was the first one on my block to call the Purple Tape. When the Purple Tape came out, niggas was heavy on meth and Old Dirty Bastard. And so niggas was like, oh no, it's good. I was like, good. I said, this is one of the best rap albums of all time. If it's not the best rap album I've ever heard. When I told niggas I thought it might be the best rap album I ever heard, niggas almost fucked me up. They almost beat my ass. I was in 8th grade. They were like, this motherfucker Coop is tripping. 3 months later, yo, Coop, that incarcerated Scarfaces, that criminology, that glaciers of ice, that ice cream, that Wu Gambino's, ooh, that verbal intercourse verse with nada. Oh, but when it came out, them first 2 weeks it came out, oh, nigga, I almost got my ass whooped. And I'm not joking, I almost got my ass whooped.
Yeah,
it's not a game. Like, it used to
when
be
I was
like
in
that
school,
where your rep was on
everybody
the line.
loved that album. Everybody
No, not in Charlotte, North Carolina, sir. Not in 1995. No, that's what I'm saying. No, it wasn't like that for everybody.
We used to just carry it around outside of the case so we could marvel at the like Purple Tape. Like we used to just carry it around outside of the case, bro. It was
not like that in Charlotte, North Carolina in 1995. Like it was. How about this? Like OutKast, Soul Food was playing more than the Purple Tape was playing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, no, I knew Soul Food was a classic, and everybody around me was calling Soul Food a classic. But when I'm calling a Purple Tape a classic in Charlotte, North Carolina, in 1995, oh no, niggas is not with that shit. Niggas ain't trying to hear that shit.
Well, where I'm at, it's no regional bias. We just embraced everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina in 1995. The summer of 1995 when the Purple Tape and all that shit is happening. Oh no. And that's what I mean about it. It's like, oh no, Wu-Tang was big, but Wu-Tang was big down here, mostly about meth and dirty. So Ray was actually when niggas down here stopped paying attention. It wasn't until when niggas really realized how dope the album was that niggas came and picked it back up. Because niggas down here actually briefly thought that the Purple Tape was a drop off for what meth and dirty just did. How about that?
And that means
because they were the personality.
They have no taste. That's why.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
That's what I thought you said.
I'm sorry. They were listening to 95 South to 69 Boys or whatever. They were listening to Tootsie Roll, and you think I'm going to take the
no. This is Charlotte, not Atlanta. How about this? I'll tell you this. No, this is how funny it is. Mobb Deep was getting more play. The Infamous was getting more play than the Purple Tape in Charlotte. Man, because Survival of the Fittest and Shook Ones and Give Up the Goods was more in line. You get what I'm saying?
And they were doing a Butterfly in Charlotte. You think I'm listening to somebody doing a Butterfly in Charlotte by the Purple Tape?
What do we got next?
First of all, First of all,
cool, you doing the butterfly?
First of all, I know how to do the butterfly.
Oh no!
Cool hit him with the one leg part.
Second of all, first of all, I never got the one leg down. Never got the one leg down, even though I tried. Second of all, Shawn, where are you sitting and residing right now? No. I want Shawn to tell everybody where he's sitting and residing right now.
Well, we got to get super chats real quick.
No, Shawn, where are you? I want to know where you are, sir. You're at home, right?
I'm on Earth, man.
You're at home? Where are you, Shawn? Shawn, are you at home in South Carolina? Shawn, are you at home in South Carolina? Are you at home in? I just want you. When you're talking about these people that don't have taste, are you talking about the people in South Carolina or the people in North Carolina? Because you're in South Carolina.
Both. Respectfully. I just can't see myself doing the butterfly.
Yo, remember you do the right leg to the left leg, then you come back and do both of them.
Hey, wear the Black Bart Simpson shirt.
First of all, never had a Black Bart Simpson shirt. Was definitely getting more girls than you in 8th grade because I knew how to do the butterfly. All right. Pull up the super chats because my iPad is dead.
Thanks, LP. I didn't land on South Carolina. South Carolina land on me.
Okay. Your ass is still stuck there in low country, nigga. All right. You wear that Yankees hat all you want. Your ass in South Carolina right now.
Right.
Oh my God, yo.
South Carolina, man. Merck City. All right, so where we at?
Wow.
I can't see shit. All right. Mobb Deep would smoke OutKast. East Coast bias. No, Mad Max. I said that. Somebody tell Mad Max to be quiet. Yeah, Deuce Falco, Harry Fog, Currency coming soon. Well, they've done shit together before. Re-up. Yeah. Love Currency. Currency's consistent. When IAMGAWD talked about his what his plans are about releasing projects, Currency is the first person that I thought of.
Yeah, you mentioned that during the interview. Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah. Currency and Boldy, because they'll give you 3, 4, 5 projects a year. You'd be like, man, all these is bangers. This nigga the shit.
The only problem I have with that is people don't get with it's a microwave society now anyway, but people don't get to sit with the last project enough before they're on to your next. Like, you know.
So my biggest fear for somebody like IAMGAWD is that he's not going to get the time to make it was written or a reasonable doubt. He's not going to get the
product of the era we're in.
He's not going to get the time. You going to get that nigga 2.5 years? We going to give IAMGAWD 2.5 years to make Illmatic a reasonable doubt? Of course we're not. We won't be doing that. The nigga Big had 3 years to make Ready to Die. Yeah, 3 years to make Ready to Die, nigga.
You mean Life After Death?
Shit better sound great. All that shit better sound great if you take 3 years. Nigga took 3 whole years. Shit better sound great. Shit don't work like that no more. 007, Ready to Die is better than Reasonable Doubt. What are we talking about? I don't know, 007. Tell these niggas, not me. In real time, when something hits you, you know what it is. Cats had to split the block on Reasonable Doubt. Guys, this is a fact 007 is talking about, and I want you to acknowledge the fact. When Ready to Die came out, instant classic. When Reasonable Doubt came out, spin the block, because it was written, Muddy Waters, ATLians, and
I said Reasonable Doubt was a classic in real time, though. Me and Shawn talked about this yesterday as well. In real time, I thought it was a classic. And I think
nobody, AG, respectfully, nobody, when this shit dropped around the same time as it was written, nobody was calling Reasonable Doubt a classic, AG. Nobody.
I did. I'm so far ahead of my time. I'm about to start another life. Behind you, I'm about to pass you twice. Nah, but for real.
Okay. I need you to die first. Die right now. Die right now and do it.
Listen, I think we're Ready to Die. People focus on the singles and the remixes that weren't even on the album. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people focus on, you know what I'm saying, the One More Chance remix. People focus on Who Shot Ya. They're on the remastered versions of the album years later, but we've already proved this on Station Head. Like, we put Ready to Die head to head with It Was Written, and It Was Written smoke Ready to Die, bro. Like,
we talking about Reasonable Doubt. We're not talking about It Was Written. We talking about Reasonable Doubt.
Okay, are It Was Written and Reasonable Doubt not comparable?
It Was Written is better than Reasonable Doubt to me, and Ready to Die is better than Reasonable Doubt to me.
But It Was Written and Reasonable Doubt are more close, in my opinion.
You think so? Oh no, fuck that, fuck that shit.
I think both are better than Ready to Die.
Really?
Yes.
Like, I do not agree. I'm sorry. Where's the Gimme the Loot on Reasonable Doubt? Where's the warning? Beat wise, Beat wise, where is the Ready to Die record? Like beat wise, I'm talking about the beat. Like no, the production on Ready to Die is better. Big Flow is better than Jay's is on Ready to Die because Jay is still doing that.
We can talk about this all day, but I
no. I'm not done. Jay is still doing that double time.
We got to keep moving. Let's table this.
Yeah.
Jay is still doing that double time fast rhyme flow, y'all. Y'all are wild.
Well, let's table this one because somebody
put Ready to Die versus Reasonable Doubt up. No, put Ready to Die versus Reasonable Doubt up. Put Ready to Die versus Reasonable Doubt up.
Let's table this one because somebody's going to take this segment and make a show tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday. So let's
look here. They making fucking 27 shows with 18,000 followers and get 300 views. Look here, when you do 22 shows with 18,000 followers and you get 300 viees, nigga, you suck. Nobody cares about these fuck niggas.
This is my fault.
Like, did you take your middle?
Man, cut the 300 view ass niggas off, man. Cut the 300 view ass niggas off, man.
Yo, Coop didn't take his Ritalin before the show, or he took it with alcohol, one or the other.
Bullshit. I'm like, worry about these niggas. 18K with motherfucking 800 views.
No,
what the motherfucker we doing? What the fuck are we doing out here? Lord Vakai, Get Around is a club banger. Y'all West Coast haters try to tell you.
Coop is a West Coast hater because he said Get Around.
I'm the one that said that it's a classic on the West Coast.
But you just also said it was overrated.
No, I said I don't love the beat. I said I don't love the beat. I didn't say it wasn't a classic to the West Coast. I said how I feel. See, the feelings that Coop feel is not fucking perpetrated by fucking hip hop talks. You see what I'm saying?
And they said y'all. I didn't say
right.
You know.
Right. I don't know what he's talking about. I said it's a West Coast classic. Come on, guys. The Chronic, 3 Feet High, Low End Theory are in the Grammy Hall of Fame before Nas. But you were complaining only because Reasonable Doubt is going to be there before Illmatic. Huh? I mean, he's fair. You know what I mean? If you want to call
those came before Illmatic, though.
No, that's what he's saying.
Those albums came before Illmatic, though. So that's that point. That's a moot point because Reasonable Doubt came after Illmatic.
I mean, truthfully, is Doggy Style in the Grammy Hall of Fame?
No.
Even if it was, Doggy Style still before Illmatic. That's the motherfucker with the gripe.
No. Damn all that Illmatic stuff. Doggy Style.
Right.
All right. Because look here, you can have your East Coast boom bap ass Illmatic Reasonable Doubt conversation. No, Doggy Style fucking better than Reasonable Doubt. So fuck that other shit. How about that? Next, Duce Falco. What I like now, we have J Skis, IAMGAWD, even artists out here like Doechii. No. I love the space right now. Highly talented artists, very, very gifted. We just want IAMGAWD to get where Doechii and like that's what I'm saying. Like IAMGAWD is the guy in this space without the people behind him, like the other people that exist in this space that we know about. And so we just want to get the people behind him because he's just as nice as these other motherfuckers, if not nicer. Next, we got more super chats. All right, fuck y'all. Good night. I'm out. No. We got shit to talk about. No.
Finishing off with the boy.
Oh, punk ass nigga ain't sent me my jacket. That's what the fuck happened. Anyway, so Drake and PARTYNEXTDOOR are gonna do what? What is it, Shawn? 250,000 units? 250,000 units?
250, yes, sir.
250 for the new album. I mean, let's talk about it, guys. People are talking about the numbers being fake. People are talking about the numbers being low for a Drake album. People are talking about this being Drake overkill, and he keeps trying to like get the Kendrick effect rub off. Where are we at with all this bullshit, guys? Like, I'm so tired of these niggas. Hate these niggas. Niggas.
Shawn, you go first. I'll piggyback off what you said.
Taking all the fun out of this shit for me. Yeah, Shawn. We all gonna piggyback off you. It's no fun. Hate these niggas.
Because it's like the weirdest climate of hip hop when it comes to an album release, because we wanted to see what this album do when it comes to streams and when it comes to the numbers and all of those things, right? And I told AG yesterday, and Coop, I think you and I talked about this a long time ago about numbers and how numbers can be, they can be masked a little bit.
Tinker, right? tinker, motherfucker.
They can be tinkered all over the place. And I'm not a P&D fan. I don't know much about P&D. I'm gonna be completely honest. I can't tell you 2-3 songs that I can say is in my playlist from P&D. So let me start there. this kind of music is not really for me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can appreciate it for who it's for. I guess you got to be in the club scene. You got to be like living the lifestyle that Coop lives, to appreciate what Drake is saying respectfully.
Whoa.
It's respectfully.
Whoa.
You got to be able to live.
I don't trust these hoes. I don't trust these hoes.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You gotta you gotta kind of live that kind of lifestyle to understand, what he's talking about on here. Is the album good? Is it great? Is it solid? I think it's none of the above. I think it's an album. It's a thing, right? I think it's a thing. Real talk. I really think the one that stands out to me most is when he actually rapped and when he made the comments about Joe and all of that. You kind of saw glimpses of the boy a little bit there, but everything else, it just to me is the run of the mill. I do feel that the numbers are indicative of Drake more than they are P&D. I told AG yesterday, P&D never went platinum. I think they went platinum maybe once or twice.
Never?
I think,
Never been platinum? That's wild.
Hug Me is fire, definitely. Hug Me is fire. But P&D doesn't really move the needle for numbers per se. They're more of a gold type. He's more of a gold type artist. So that 250 is indicative of Drake regardless.
This nigga is so disrespectful.
But it also brings down because you're talking about the average of what P&D actually does himself as an artist, and you're thinking about Drake's average, which is around 400,000, I think, close to, right, AG?
Yeah.
There's more than I do, but P&D is more around that gold market. So you're talking about maybe 60,000, 40,000, and this is P&D's first number one as well. So now the law of averages come into that. I like to say this. This is something that Drake had to do from a safe space. He had to make a safe album on the heels of the beef. This was very safe. This is likened to J&J Electronica doing that joint that they did. Very safe. If it fails, it doesn't fall on one side or the other. The other person doesn't get the hit. If it succeeds, that person gets the hit. If it succeeds, Drake gets the hit. If it doesn't, he's still going to get a hit, but he can always say, well, that's a collabo project between myself and P&D. So I'm going to just leave it at that. I know AG really wanted to say something on this one, so I'm going to just leave it at that.
Yeah, you cooked that, Shawn. Before I even get started,
did he cook that? That's what you said. Because you said he cooked that?
Yeah, because he brought up excellent points, and I got some numbers to go along with those points. So, and before the chat goes crazy and say we're caping for Drake or whatever, no, we're not. We're just calling it right down the middle. And I hate where hip hop is at now, because if you call something down the middle, one fan base is going to say, you hating on their favorite artist and you caping for the one that they're against. So that's where we're at right now. But this is straight down the middle. So to Shawn's point, with P&D being the artist that moves less units and Drake moving a higher amount of units. Drake's last album, For All the Dogs, did 402K the first week. PARTYNEXTDOOR 4 album did 37K the first week, which that comes out to an average of just under 220K, right? If you combine those two. And if they're saying that they're doing 250, then that's right in the wheelhouse of where they should be, right? Because people are trying to do this comparison of, in which we said that this will happen, of Drake's numbers to Kendrick's numbers on GNX, which was 319 the first week. That's not an apples to apples comparison. It's more apples to oranges. It's not a one-to-one comparison. And if you look at the buzz granted, that was a surprise album. If you look at the buzz that Kendrick has in context, if he's only doing, you know what I'm saying, like 69 grand more than Drake is at this point, when Drake is supposed to be dead in the water off a collab album, then I don't really think that that's something to really champion for the Kendrick fans. Like, oh yeah, it's really not, if I'm being honest. So y'all can say I'm caping for Drake if you want to, but I'm just calling it down the middle. But here's the thing. Collab albums are very tricky because you're trying to merge two fan bases together, which both fan bases have to tap in, because this is a situation where if you're a big time P&D fan, like, me and my son, we both rock with P&D heavy, you'll still tap into this album, or Drake, or vice versa. But if you don't rock with P&D, you might say, you know what, I'll catch Drake when he drop a solo. I'm not even tapping in. I know plenty of Nas fans that don't want to listen to Distant Relatives, which I think is a stellar album, because they don't want to hear Damian Marley. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear the reggae stuff. I know plenty of people who have Jay-Z as the GOAT that said, yo, you can keep that Jay Electronica album. I'll hear Jay if he come out with something else. So it's hard to merge those two fan bases. But just for some comparison's sake, I got some numbers. Her Loss did 404K the first week, which their fan base is 21, and Drake cross-pollinate a little bit more than Drake and P&D. And they're trying to do an R&B album, which an R&B album is, you know, R&B is a dying genre at this present day, if you ask me. Honestly, never mind. That did 204K the first week for Drake, and that was a house music album, and this was before the beef. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if people want to say because of this 250K that Drake is dead in the water, he did less than this even before the beef. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it depends on what they want to hear from you or not. And comparatively speaking, what I mean about fan bases merging, everything is love. Jay-Z and Beyonce. By name recognition alone, all the fans that Jay got on the hip-hop side and all the fans that she got on the R&B side, you would think that would be a great selling album. It did 123K the first week, because the people who want to listen to Jay and what he delivers are not tapping into that album because of Beyonce, and vice versa. People who love Beyonce for her music are not tapping into that album because they don't want to hear Jay rapping. It just is what it is. This is what collab albums do. Vultures, 148K the first week. I know Kanye fans that don't mess with Ty Dolla $ign. Vultures 2, 107K the first week. So collab albums are kind of tricky. So for everybody comparing it, even if Drake would have outsold Kendrick on this one, it's still not a one-to-one comparison. It's not an apples-to-apples comparison. It's really apples to oranges at the end of the day. But as far as the project itself, I rock with it. I think it's dope. You know what I'm saying? A mood like Valentine's Day, you out moving and shaking, you know what I'm saying, with your girl, whatever. It's a dope little mood. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that the album switched, because it's very much like a P&D album at the beginning, and then it switches moods towards the end and gives some different looks. I do like that about it. But what I will say, and this is what I'm going to stand on, I don't think this album was made organically. And what I mean by that is, like Shawn said, and this is my last point, it's very safe. You remember when Drake tweeted out or put on his Instagram or whatever, Summer Vibes Next? You know what I'm saying? He's making some tunes. He tried that 100 gigs or whatever. I think he really started to do his own solo project and was throwing out temperature checks, and it wasn't coming back how he liked it. So I think he pivoted and turned this into a collab album with P&D, which is ironic because it's like, okay, people ain't messing with me rapping, so I can fall back into this R&B bag, but I still need somebody to stand beside me to make it a safe bet, a safe play. And because P&D, he's never released, P&D is signed to OVO. He's never released 2 projects back-to-back years by P&D before, but now all of a sudden you want to do, until now. So now he wants to stand beside him and put him to the forefront, like, yo, because he needs somebody to stand beside him at this juncture, right? And I find it, the reason why I say I think he started a solo album and pivoted to the collab joint was because it's 6 Drake solo records on here out of 20-some songs. 1 P&D solo record. That's very lopsided for a collab album. So what those 6 solo records tell me is Drake was cooking in the lab with a solo album and had to pivot and pull P&D and say, yo, let's make this collab album so I can fall into this safe space of R&B.
Respectfully, I'm going to say something to you. That is a checker's opinion, not a chess opinion, and I'm going to tell you why. Everything that you're saying can be looked at totally differently from a different perspective. And here's why. Drake is testing the waters right now. That's why he did an artist with somebody who has been on his label for pretty much a decade that has never dropped material consistently. He's testing the waters with this. This is the first time PARTYNEXTDOOR has literally dropped back-to-back projects. The motherfucker been around since 2014. It's 2025. So PARTYNEXTDOOR ain't like some new artist that just popped up. It's been a decade in the game. but the brevity of music exists because in the OVO space has existed as some sort of like outlier, some sort of like, you know, like sunken like secret piece, like to the battleship, like to win the war. And so this is Drake actually using Party Next Door, very much like Kanye used Ty Dolla Sign, in my opinion, only with better results, because the results that they are getting is actually the results of Vultures 1 and 2 combined in the first week. And so I think Drake was working on a project, but I think the intention of the project was to attach somebody to it about just seeing how the numbers would move to see where he's at in a space where he's currently apparently at an all-time low. If Kendrick is at an all-time high and Drake is at an all-time low and 100,000 units don't separate them,
Not even 100,000.
no, that's what I'm saying. I said under 100,000 units separate them. Oh, that would give credence to everything I'm saying about Kendrick not being like that, like I'm saying, guys. You understand that? Like, all this hoopla, all this Super Bowl, like, whoop, 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 and Drake can just pull up with an album on Valentine's Day with a motherfucker that don't drop material regularly and pretty much sell what you're selling at your highest moment. And let's respect the fact that Drake does have a section of fans. And it is a large section. Oh no, they fuck with Drake, guys. They don't fuck with Nicki. They don't fuck with Wayne. They damn sure don't fuck with Party Next Door. They're like, who is this motherfucker? They fuck with Drake, and they pull up with Drake when they know Drake is dropping a full-length project, not a surprise project, a week after your biggest rival is literally having the biggest moment of his career. This is a win for Drake to me, and I am saying that objectively because if Kendrick just had the biggest moment of his career and he had it on your back, and all he got out of it was 70,000 more sales than you, oh, he didn't win shit in the battle. And that is what this is really telling me. This was Drake.
Let's be clear, the numbers battle, not the battle itself. He won the battle very decidedly.
But what I'm saying is this is how Drake looks at it. He looks at it very much the way Jay looked at it when he looked at Nas. So even in defeat, there's a valuable lesson learned. So it evens out for me because Jay already knew that numbers wise, it wasn't a conversation really.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. Even if you beat me on some rap shit, I'm still Jay numbers wise. Hence the reasonable doubt going into the Hall of Fame before Illmatic, a full 2.5 years after Illmatic. You get what I'm saying? And that's what Jay was speaking to is like, oh no, even if I lose to you, I still win because I'm Jay. And all I've tried to explain to people, it's like, oh no, he may have lost the battle, but he's still Drake. This 250, that's proof positive he is Drake. If GNX did 319, because to be honest with you, GNX, for the way motherfuckers play Not Like Us, am I wrong for saying that it should have sold double that the first week, guys?
In context, it was a surprise album, so surprise albums are tricky too. You know what I mean?
They had a chance to double up. You had a chance to double up. They could have doubled back and made 200 the next week. And made it.
Your sentiments and everything you're saying is no different than what I was saying. The only difference in what I said is I think that the 100 gigs was more so him testing the waters, and he didn't like the response to that while he was making these other tracks, and then that caused the pivot into the collab. And you're very correct. He is using P&D. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what I said. This is not, I don't feel like, although it's a good project, I don't feel like it's an organic project. So you're not saying anything fundamentally different than what I said. You know what I mean? Because I said he's using them like, hey, come stand beside me so we can make this project and I can be in a safe space and we'll see what it does. You know what I mean? So I think that's what it is. And it's a safe genre because he's rapping on songs on here, but it's a R&B
No.
album.
See, so when I'm saying it's a win. That's what I'm saying.
All things considered, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is Kendrick's moment. And all Kendrick got to show for it is doing the Super Bowl performance and 70,000 more units first week than a project. Listen to what I'm saying, guys. A project Drake is not even really thinking about. Like, this was strategic by him. He wasn't thinking about making this a solo project, guys. He's
But that's
competing.
smart to not do a apples to apples comparison, because if he drops a solo album where there's rapping like typical Drake stuff, rapping with R&B sprinkled in there or whatever, then that is a 1-to-1 comparison with GNX. And if he loses that battle, then it's something that
Like, how
is going
about
to really be a problem. That happened before with Damn and More Life. Damn outsold More Life during
Drake,
that in real time.
Drake only really loses for what he does if those numbers come out in less than 320 on his next solo project. That's when the hit happens.
That won't happen. That won't happen.
I mean, he's been hovering around 400 for a minute, so it's like Kendrick has crept up on him some.
But see, that's my whole point with the collab album, and Shawn alluded to that with the law of averages. P&D is not pulling a big fan base into the project. You know what I mean?
This is all Drake. This is just organic Drake shit. That's what I'm saying.
But it's a lot of P&D fans that are not tapping in because they don't want to hear Drake.
Career off of, essentially.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a tricky thing to measure, because if I told you
when you
just
doing
in a vacuum,
like, hold on,
Jay and Beyonce doing
does
an
anybody
album,
know what the numbers for GNX were after the Super Bowl? Did the GNX number spike?
His whole catalog
did he get like a
spiked
little 50,
after
60,
that.
70 piece? You know what I'm saying?
His whole catalog spiked. I think his back catalog spiked more than anything, though.
Everything went up. Everything went up.
It did. So he got a spike.
Yeah, but that's natural. It's the Super Bowl. Every that happens to everybody.
It's that stimuli from the Super Bowl that's going to go up. Yeah.
But where are we placing the album then, Shawn? Like, where do you rank the actual album? What do you think of the Drake and P&D album?
He said it was a thing. He didn't even say it was solid.
I don't really rank it anywhere. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I got it. It's like off in the corner.
Okay, for me, for context purposes, in the same wheelhouse genre, I think this is a lot better than the Weeknd's album, and the Weeknd's album got high praise, and it's sold similarly to the Weeknd album. It's so I forget what Weeknd sold the first week, but it's similar to that.
Oh yeah. I think it did. What did the Weeknd sell? Do you know he sold the first week?
Not off the top of my head, but it was close to around the same ballpark.
LP said it was on.
I think Weeknd's beating these niggas. Yeah, Weeknd's beating these niggas.
Yeah, he sold 500K.
Hold on. Yeah. Oh, Weeknd sold 500K.
500K. That's the Weeknd.
I thought it was like 300.
No, that's the Weeknd.
I don't know if it was 5. I don't think he did a 5-piece. I don't know if he did a 5-piece. He did more than Drake and Kendrick did. I know that shit.
Yeah, let me check.
But he's the Weeknd is actually one of the few guys out here that's actually supposed to be moving more than Drake and Kendrick, though.
Yeah, he has a whole different demo.
Yeah,
he has a different demo.
There go LP 490. It's like, yeah, I ain't remember hearing no fucking 500K.
Yeah, 490.
490. Jack saying 475. Motherfucker saying 400K with bundles. This that bullshit. This is what I'm talking about.
Bundles, man. It's the bundles.
But regardless of what, I think this is a better album than the Weeknd album, though, because I think that's a more accurate comparison than compared to GNX, though. You know, that's a rap album.
Okay. So let me ask you this. AG, what did you think of the actual album, the Drake and P&D album? We've been doing all this numbers talking, all this logistic talks, and all this maneuvering, all this bullshit.
No, you missed that part. You missed that part, Coop. You wasn't listening. I said me and my son are both like big P&D fans, and we love the album because it's a vibe for like if you out with your lady, if you trying to catch a vibe. Like I think it's a good album, you know, for what it's intended to do.
No. What I'm saying is okay. So let's look at your demographic. You are in your 40s.
My son said 490.5 for the first week on Weekend.
Okay, 490.5. So almost 500, close to 500. We'll give him the 5.
That's a hell of a good week.
You know, that's a hell of a good week. We ain't gonna be petty. We're gonna give him the 5.
Different demo.
True.
What would you listen to more at this stage in the game? You listening to that Kendrick more? You listen to this Drake and P&D more?
GNX.
GNX definitely.
Yeah,
GNX definitely.
I'm not listening to GNX anymore. Right.
I really? Still got it in heavy rotation.
Rotation now? It's out to rotation.
It's not, guys. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Both of these projects to me, if the guys that are attached to him or attached to him, I don't even think I would have even played him as much as I've played him so far.
No, I rock with GNX, but like, what I will say, I don't go back to it as a whole project and let it run front to back. But it's a lot of songs I still go back to, man. Yeah, I still go back to Whacked Out Murals, Man at the Garden. You know what I mean? I
go to
still go back
Squabble
to
Up. Squabble Up.
Luther, Gloria.
Squabble Up is my shit. I ain't even gonna front on Squabble Up. Squabble Up
And them is the popular joints. TV Off, I don't even really go back to them as much. I'm listening to Gloria, Luther, Whacked Out Murals, Man at the Garden. Like, them the joints I go back to.
Whacked Out Murals is dope. Whacked Out Murals, I fuck with.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't feel GNX like everybody else does. I hear it. I'd rather listen to Pimp.
I wouldn't say it's a classic. I wouldn't say it's a classic, but it's a really dope album. I did a short on it, and I said it's a solid 4.
I think it depends on your I think it depends on your environment, guys. Like, Coop, when last time you've been to a club? I know, AJ, you don't really go to clubs like that. When last you been to a club, Coop? It's been a while. December. Shit. So you haven't really heard anything like GNX or P&D and Drake in a club. I think in that environment.
Hold on. No, Luther was spinning when I was in the club. Luther was spinning. And I mean, okay, so hold on. You have to understand, I work in Atlanta, and so I work in an environment where there are DJs in my spot. So it's like, I hear all the shit. Like I hear Lotto and Glow and sexy shit that y'all ain't even like heard, like not being funny because it's Atlanta. Like, so I'm plugged this shit. Like I live in the world where I'm on that scene, but I don't go to the club no more. It's like I be around.
I ain't been to the club in like a handful of years, bro.
Like I can't even front. Like when I went to the club I went to is right next to my job, and the niggas know me, and so like security's like, oh, it's Coop. Like we ain't about to charge this nigga at the door. Nigga work next door. We about to walk downstairs. We like, what you want, Coop? You know what I'm saying? I work next door, nigga. Better fucking give me this shit for free when I fucking pull up. Take care of all you niggas. Like, yeah. So it's like I don't really go to the club no more, but I'm around in that scene where I hear and see that stuff, and that's what I mean about it being different. Guys, ain't nobody playing that Kendrick or that Drake like that down here. Atlanta ain't that type of scene where the type of shit they just did really flow down here like that. Not like us hit like that. But I'm going to be honest with you. Between Drake and Kendrick, if you want to talk about a record that they made hitting in this city, oh no, outside of Not Like Us, these niggas ain't made nothing that hit in this city like that since the pandemic happened. Between the two of them.
Okay, that's so you talking about what's ringing off in Atlanta, both P&D and Drake.
I only talk about them niggas when I pull up to do this shit. Like, ain't nobody talking about them niggas in Atlanta like that outside of Not
I'm asking the question, like, is that 250 just domestic? Because being that both of them are from Canada, what's that doing in Canada is what I would like to know.
No, I feel, how about this? I feel the same way about that 319 for GNX. No, nigga, I lived in Cali. It's like, oh no, you can do 200 off Cali.
On the humble.
Off Cali, you can do 200. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's why I mean, it's like, oh, when you talk about Drake and Canada, oh no, I feel the same way about Kendrick out there in Cali. It's like, oh, I don't even know how real these niggas is. These niggas ain't touching Atlanta like that. Kendrick hit everybody with Not Like Us, but music-wise, if you talking about what's going on in the city, music-wise, ain't nobody in here worried about Kendrick or Drake in Atlanta.
As popular as this album as GNX is, it doesn't have the reach of Damn. Like, you know, even Kendrick at his height of beating Drake, the album in and of itself, GNX, doesn't have the reach that Damn had.
How about this? How about this? No, when Kendrick dropped Damn, oh no, Humble getting played down here. Loyalty played down here. Love played down here. That's what I mean. Multiple records on Damn getting played down here. Ain't nobody heard no shit from GNX getting played down here like that.
But let's be fair. Let's be real. It's a very West Coast album.
Drake, no, the Drake and P&D shit the same way.
But we got to be fair, Coop, because you was the one saying that like he needs to make a West Coast sounding banging album, and he did that. But you can't fault him for not reaching to the South if he made something that's a regional sound for where he's at, though. We can't play both sides of the fence. Like, it got to be one way or the other.
No, I'm not knocking him for what he did. He did what he needed to do because he hadn't done that in a while. That's why I'm like, oh no, that 319 wouldn't be surprised if 200 came from Cali.
Okay. Yeah, so if they don't reach Atlanta, then so be it. You know?
Oh no, when I am saying that, I am speaking factually what is going on. as somebody who actually lives and is on the scene in Atlanta still live, I'm not saying that to detract away from the quality of the product that he made. I think GNX is a high quality product. What I am saying is the demographic that I exist in, oh no, that shit ain't slapping down here like that. And that's cool if it don't slap down here like that. It's some West Coast shit. Let me tell you what, Crash Talk slapped down here. It sounded like some Atlanta shit when Schoolboy Q did Crash Talk. That's part of why it slapped down here. No, Kendrick made some shit for the West finally. But what I'm saying is that if you actually look at his numbers, he even might have made some shit for the West too late.
Nah, they galvanized behind that
They
shit.
like everywhere. Go to
yeah. Hold on. When you saying they galvanized behind it, how many records has it done? Is it platinum already? GNX platinum?
I don't know, but just the movement in and of itself. I haven't seen the West this active with this much energy behind something since, like, you know, Game was out, or before that when Death Row was popping. You know what I mean? It's like, this is a big moment.
The energy feel real, but usually in Cali, when the energy feel real, the numbers.
But that's why I don't like putting too much credence into sales, because sales don't tell the whole story a lot of time. Even though I broke down a bunch of sales, like, you know, I'm always a big, you know, advocate of like numbers can make them do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? They can tap dance and do whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can manipulate numbers. They do lie sometimes.
No. What I'm saying is like, when the West behind you, you ain't gonna go like platinum. You gonna go like triple, quadruple, quintuple. You understand that, right?
It's a large market. Large market.
History of showing us like dog food by the dog pounds, like double platinum off Rip Fam. Like,
that was a different time. That's not streaming era. That's a different time.
Oh no. Hold on. If Kendrick is who we are saying that he is, I can compare him to somebody like the dog pound from that era, and it'd be a comparable. Like, I'm not asking him to do doggy style numbers.
I see what you're saying.
I'm not asking him to do Tupac, Ice Cube, right?
I got you.
I was fair about the correlation. It's like, oh no, dog pound numbers is reasonable in this day and time. I'm not asking him to do All Eyes on Me.
But they got a lot of that Snoop and Dre carryover, though. They got a stimulus package as well.
I mean, it's everywhere. That's how it is. It's everywhere. Listen,
it's a bleed over effect, you know.
Listen to the NBA games. Halftime, you hear Kendrick. Listen to when you heard everything from last week from the All-Star game. Every cut, it was Kendrick. Right. Every time you watch a game,
which confused me, because granted he got the Super Bowl, but being that the All-Star game was in San Francisco, I'm like, yo, that would have been a perfect, you know, more of a perfect situation for Kendrick to perform there. Granted, they had, you know, Too Short, E40, the legends, Sweetie.
That's overkill. They're not going to do that. That's that stage. You don't go to that stage after the Super Bowl. You got to, especially with that group. You got to.
That's a downgrade, right? Yeah,
kind of like a downgrade, especially with the All-Star game was projected this year. They had to stay with the locals. They got to stay with those who ride really hard with the Golden State Warriors. That's their arena.
I got you. And the game was whack anyway. So
the game was terrible. He got some super fast food.
Game was awesome. Yep, double barrel. GNX is plat. Coop the Owl dropped the dud. It's okay. First of all, if GNX is platinum, and we're in February, that's been 3 months. Drake's already a fourth of the way there after 1 week. So that's just me.
I don't know if this album's gonna go platinum though, Coop. I really don't.
It's slowing down.
You don't think the P&D album's gonna go platinum?
I do not.
No, it's gonna take a while.
What's the second week? What's the second week projection?
They honestly never mind go platinum, because I think that's a easier tracker.
Hold on, actually, I think a good track is to say, when did GNX actually go platinum though? While we're doing this, because GNX been out for like 3 months now, right? 2 months, almost 3.
They came out in December, right?
Beginning of December, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So we're getting close to, like, it's been over 2 months of GNX. So what's the numbers? Like, if it's platinum, where are the numbers at?
I'm not. Somebody could have show. I think LP did say it went platinum. On GNS already went platinum. I don't know when it went platinum, but it went platinum.
Okay. Oh,
it had to, man.
No. The information sounds so precise and very well founded. We're just gonna go. I'm pretty sure it went platinum. Okay, 007. The boy's still rapping. Shout out. Shout out to the ghostwriter. Drake done. I'm just saying, like, you understand how this shit sound out loud? I want y'all to listen to what he just said. It's like, well, it's Kendrick, so I'm pretty certain that it's platinum. It's like, oh, it's like, is that what we doing? Because we would never do that shit with Drake. All right.
Appreciate you. Ep just sent it to me. Appreciate you. Ep just texted it to me. It went platinum.
AG made me spill my drink. When?
February 19th. It's sold
That's
over.
Yesterday, Shawn. That's my daughter's birthday. My daughter turned 18 yesterday. Shout out to my daughter, Sade. Shawn, let me know.
Happy birthday to her.
Yesterday. Yeah, appreciate you, man. Yeah. Baby girl is not baby girl anymore. Baby girl is a grown ass.
My son just came and told me, he chiming in live when I phoned a friend. He told me that Honestly Nevermind did go platinum, in fact, in August of 2023. So if that went platinum, the House album by Drake that nobody wanted to hear, then maybe the P&D album does go platinum. I didn't think Honestly Nevermind was platinum. I really did.
Hold on. You're telling me that Kendrick's album just went platinum yesterday?
Yes.
So it took pretty much, what, 10 weeks? Is what you're telling me?
So, yeah.
So let's see. In 10 weeks from now where this Drake and P&D project is before we go.
I think that's
is fair. That
not fair? And for Kendrick's height and all the buzz that he has, that is a slow burn. I will say that. That is a slow burn.
Hold on. But is that not fair though? So we can pull up and say 10 weeks from now, if Drake and P&D's album is platinum, that Kendrick didn't step all over this guy like we think if he's doing the same numbers for a throwaway album with P&D. Like when people are talking about Drake is over, no, because people are running around talking about Drake is over. And all I'm saying is that, well, if he can just do an album with P&D and just drop it randomly on Valentine's Day and do the same numbers as Kendrick, how over is the motherfucker if this is
it don't tell the whole story. You can still lose and still be that guy. Jay lost, decidedly to Nas, but what he said, niggas thought Hova was over such dummies, even if I fall and land on a bunch of money. Y'all ain't got nothing for me.
No, like he lost. This is not about Drake losing. People are acting like it's over. Show me that it's over.
Nah, his career is not over. But see, here's the problem.
People like it's over.
Even if it's over as a rapper, that's what I keep saying. Like, if people say, I'm not going to tap into Drake no more, the rapper, he has all these other different bags he can fall back into. But the rapping is what I want to talk about, because we didn't even touch on that. On Give Me a Hug, what did y'all think about the bars that was aimed at Joe Budden, that was aimed at Kendrick, when he said Kendrick gonna have a girl twerking with the dictionaries? Like, do you think too little too late?
Thought it was funny.
It's funny. I don't respect the Joe Budden bar, because he wouldn't respond to Joe when Joe was active rapping at him. And then now Joe's not active. So now Kendrick snuffed him out. And instead of barking up that tree again, you go and, double back and say some stuff to Joe. So that's why I don't respect that bar. And Joe was barring him up. And if I'm being honest, it's almost like if a tree falls in the forest, there's nobody there, does anybody hear it, right? I would take Joe's 4 or 5 diss tracks against Drake over Kendrick's, just as far as barring him up, because Wake and Making a Murderer are insane. He was going crazy, but it matters the messenger, because Kendrick is who he is, and that's why his disses was more effective.
You're making my point for me, AG. It's like, oh, well, if Budden's bars were better, why didn't they hit this community as hard? It's because this community,
it's the messenger.
This community values Kendrick in a way they don't value Budden, even though Budden actually did the better job of dissecting and breaking him down.
And let's be real.
Like Pusha T and Budden have both done a better job on Drake than actually Kendrick did. It is just Kendrick is the guy that they want to do the job. And that is the part of it where it does feel like it is industry planted.
Well, the thing about Pusha is, if he don't have the salacious, if Pusha don't have that salacious info, I don't think that Adidon has the impact that it does. If he don't have the
but this is what I'm saying. Oh no, what Kendrick is doing on Not Like Us is right out the page of Exodus and Infrared. It is just Kendrick doing it. It's just Kendrick doing it.
It's the messenger. It's the messenger.
Correct. He's not doing anything. He's not saying anything that Budden and Pusha T haven't said. You do understand that, right? We all
Yeah,
understand.
those Button tracks, if y'all ain't heard them, like Button
That's what I'm
went
saying.
off on tracks.
So,
like
so,
those
so,
joints
so,
are fire.
so when people are like, "Oh no, Kendrick is an industry plant," it's like, well, if somebody like Pusha T and Budden have been saying this about the guy all this time, and they have been landing these topics over dope beats and dope production and dope hooks for years, and it hasn't caught fire. Why did Kendrick catch fire? There is something about that that does make it seem like it is industry motivated and planted to take Drake out, quite frankly. And so when people gravitate towards Kendrick like this, it feeds that part of the conspiracy because people like you who know about Joe Budden's disses, people like me who know about Pusha T's disses, like, well, about 95% of this shit has been said.
Well, taking the conspiracy theories out of it, and then Shawn, you was gonna say something, but we couldn't hear you. Real quick, Joe. Oh, okay. Joe, real quick. Joe and Pusha, when they did that, they went at Drake at his height. When Kendrick went at Drake, people were already tired of him anyway. Like he was already, Drake fatigue was a real thing. Kendrick chose the perfect time to strike.
He took a page out of Floyd Mayweather's book. What a shock. Okay. Right.
You said super chat, Shawn?
Yeah, Pacquiao gonna whoop Floyd's ass if he would have caught him younger. Pacquiao gonna whoop Floyd's ass if he would have caught him younger. AG made me spill my drink, LOL, because the Weeknd new album is smoking Drake and P&D album. Is it now?
The Weeknd album's good. People say good things about that album, but I like the Drake album better.
I fuck with the Weeknd. Mad Max. Oh Lord, dear Lord, let us pray. AG, Joe got 50 problems now. Drake the least of his worries. Joe been having the owl name in his mouth more than a scorn BM.
Agreed. I agree with Mad Max. No one cares about the
First
Joe.
of all,
honestly.
I'll never admit in public anymore to agreeing with Mad Max. I won't be doing that. Thank you, Mad Max.
I agree with that, but that still doesn't negate the fact that those Joe Budden tracks were fire, a handful of years ago.
Yeah, they were hit makers.
Yoga, Fire, Flame. Yoga, Fire, Flame. Mad Max. Oh, see here, Mad Max don't start this Floyd shit with me. You know he ran his punk ass. Floyd 2 year older than Pac. Than Pac. Stop it, Coop. And he still ran. That's why he ran, because he's 2 years older with him in his brittle ass hands, and little arthritic hands that he had. He did not want to fight Pacquiao when he ain't got all soft and brilliant. I do not want to punch anymore. I just want to play defense. Okay. Anyway, I just want to play defense. That is boxing to me. It's like, nigga, that ain't boxing to nobody else.
It's art, cool. Yep, and just like that. Oh, just like that, fade to black. Yo, anything else, fellas?
No, I don't have nothing.
I think we got everything, man.
All right. So I want to say,
more the story is GNX is still everywhere. You hear it in every venue, every major platform.
Even though it's not selling. Once
the tour starts, you'll see another bump in sales. Once the tour starts, you will see it.
Boy. Put a cape and a cap on both of you niggas. Whatever.
I'm just calling it down the middle. I'm not caping for either one of them. That's just a fact. It's a stimulus package. When you tour an album, that album gets a bump in revenue sale. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
So what if Drake does the same thing?
He's doing it now. He's in Australia now. It's international.
Correct.
But he's not necessarily, I don't think he's touring. I don't think he's performing anything from this album yet. At least I haven't seen that. But
that's what I'm saying. Who's to say he's not going to just be petty and start circulating when Kendrick starts popping up with the tour around? Like
as he should.
We'll tune in next week for more petty wars from old ass niggas approaching 40. While you're hearing about it from niggas already in their 40s. This has been Hip Hop Talks.
Yo, some quick shout outs. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to definitely to the chat. LP, everybody, Miss LB, Jack, everybody who actually contributed to nice chat. The chat is always live, and we appreciate that. A lot of Discord family in there, double. We saw some new faces out there. Reason Hearts from the OVO. Jadarian, shout out to Jadarian. Shout out to Ernest, who's actually looked like he's new in the chat as well. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the show. Please make sure that you hit like and share. Get the word out. join our Discord, join our Twitter, join our Facebook. All of that stuff is on the taglines to the bottom of the ticker. We appreciate y'all. Jack, we'll be bringing back the press play next week. We want to dedicate this show to IAMGAWD for him showing up for us tonight. We may spin a block on y'all, in the next 48 to 72 hours. So
Jack,
just,
Jack, you sit your ass down. Don't be asking us about our press play, Jack. Sit your ass down somewhere.
Yeah, we got you next week.
Don't ask about what we doing on Hip Hop Talks, Jack. Don't be asking questions, nigga. How about that?
Yeah,
that's what Shawn really wanted to say. I'm gonna say what Shawn really wanted to say. Don't be asking questions.
My guy. I don't want no beef with Jack. I don't want beef with Jack.
Jack is a staple, man.
He's a staple.
Jack is wild. Stop co-signing Jack. Jack's a wild boy. Y'all be
every team need a Dennis Rodman.
See the shit that Jack be doing.
Every team. So again, like, share, subscribe, get the word out, join the Discord, join all of our socials, follow us for content. Follow our YouTube page really well as well. What's that cool?
When did I become the voice of reason for social media behavior? Like you see the shit Jack be doing, right? Jack be getting shit crazy.
Jack is on.
You be with him.
You be with him. He's one of one. You need Jack. You don't go against Jack. You partner with Jack.
He's necessary.
He's necessary evil.
Stop encouraging this nigga.
Yeah, the Jackrin. So, shout out to West Virginia, shout out to Atlanta, Charlotte, shout out to everybody in South Carolina, North Carolina, worldwide. Appreciate y'all. We out. Peace.
Jack, I will smoke you like a pack of loud from California. Yeah, I will.
Jack.